Chapter 1601. Surprise? What surprise? Everyone was taken aback. You guys come out. Levi Garrison clapped his hands. Soon, Xiao Feng and others all walked out. What? Can you get out of bed and walk? No, your strength is restored. No, your strength is. Feeling the changes made by Xiao Feng and others, Messiah's people were going crazy. Is this still that bunch of people? Once Xiao Feng and others were raised as animals. At that time everyone thought they had no value at all. Not as good as a dog. In a short period of time, they even changed. It can even be said to be a qualitative change. Among the 100 people, there are at least 2 fingers that can match the North Devil. Especially Xiao Feng is even stronger. Faintly is about to reach the realm of a pseudo-extreme powerhouse. It is by no means comparable to the 9 heavenly kings. And it's no exaggeration to say that Xiao Feng's hundreds of people can definitely punish the supreme powers by joining forces. They are still making terrible progress. This is the most terrifying point. The Qianlong project was successful. It's better than we thought. Thank you for the word side-by-side king. You will always be Arudaya's side-by-side king. Everyone was about to cry with joy. Now they can go out to be alone. But you are still very weak now. Every battle you encounter in the future will be fateful. You know how to do it. Levi Garrison struck mercilessly. Everyone. Is this still weak? Is there any reason? To be honest, there is no one that Messiah can use now that is better than them. With 100 Xiao Feng, Arudaya's strength will be greatly enhanced. According to this trend, Xiao Feng will sooner or later be a supreme powerhouse. If there is the first, there will be the second. This group of people has unlimited potential. Must be the backbone of Arudaya. Messiah took Xiao Feng and the others back. An emergency meeting was immediately called. Basically, all the big battles in Arudaya have participated. Messiah has to deal with any crisis that may occur in the future. Strictly speaking, the major supreme-level powerhouses are their own masters. Will not belong to a certain country or something. Therefore, Arudaya must not only stare at foreign enemies, but also at the supreme powerhouses. Within Arudaya, everyone should be clear about the covenant of the gods. Next we will face an unprecedented predicament. Death is a small matter, maybe the entire Arudaya will fall into purgatory. The high-level Messiah said that the matter was terrible. Everyone looked solemn. I have a question. Xiao Feng said. Xiao Feng, you say. Everyone looked at Xiao Feng. Didn't the creators of the covenant of the gods want world peace and the people will not suffer? Now that someone breaks the covenant of the gods, shouldn't they have to come out and take care of it? And just because one person broke the rules, the covenant of the gods broke. Xiao Feng said his doubts. This is the question of many people. Everyone thinks the covenant of the gods is too trivial. Just because one person broke? Wrong. It's really because one person broke it. Why does the existence of the covenant of the gods ignore the suffering of the world? That's because they want a new world to appear. The covenant of the gods has restrained the supreme power for too long, and this world has changed too much. They want to see the emergence of a new world. So no matter how the supreme-level powerhouses make their moves, they won't care about it. Everyone was shocked. This group of people sounds like the master of this world. Chapter 1602. What exactly do they exist? Can make all the supreme powers disappear. Also has super strength above all beings. They want a world replacement. What kind of existence are the masters who made the covenant of the gods? Everyone is curious. I don't know. Even Arudaya's most mysterious information contains no records. No one has seen them, no one has been in contact with. Hiss. There were all gasping voices in the court. What kind of existence must this be? M.Bg. They are like gods, watching the whole world. But they can't reach this group of people. The biggest crisis now comes from these supreme-level powerhouses. They don't care, so it's for sure that the supreme powerhouse will mess up the world. Moreover, there must be a group of malicious countries or forces that will fight Arudaya's ideas. Our future will be very difficult. We must be fully prepared. The enemy is too strong. Everyone must work hard. Messiah formulated a series of deployments in order to be able to compete with the supreme level powerhouses. Arudaya's soldiers began to train frantically. Messiah arranged a lot of pill medicine to cooperate with Levi and the various combat techniques and techniques promoted by the major hidden forces to improve the overall combat effectiveness. The situation is getting more severe. Darkness is really coming. Hey, we are really stupid. Why do you abolish Levi's martial art? I can guarantee that if Levi's martial art is restored, I will definitely have one more supreme powerhouse in Arudaya. Regret. We regret it. How about this, let's use all our strength to find a way to restore the martial art. Restore the martial art to Levi as soon as possible. Okay, just do it. When Messiah made up for their stupid behavior. There is no difference between Levi's family and the past. The only difference is that Levi Garrison and Zoe are constantly improving. When Zoe knocked over a wall with his bare hands, they finally understood that a qualitative leap had taken place. Levi didn't dare to tell that they had become martial arts masters. I'm afraid they won't be able to accept it. After all, a white-collar worker at work deals with financial stocks every day. You suddenly told her that you became a master of martial arts. It is difficult for them to accept. After all, they regard Levi's training as fitness. Levi, I will protect you from now on. Hell! Zoe gladly accepted it. Mia and even his mother Emma accepted all this. At Levi, we know what you think. You want us to be strong and not easily fall into danger. I have also heard that the times have changed too much now. There are many dangers. We have the best ability to protect ourselves. It's a pity that your body is no longer able to practice martial arts. This is the worst decision Messiah has ever made. Zoe said, a pity for a few people. As an instructor, Levi organizes their training and can turn them into martial arts masters. If he doesn't use his own martial arts, he doesn't know how strong he is now. Nothing, Levi trains us well, and we all become strong. This way, no one can bully us. Emma said. Yes, brother, I will practice with you every day from now on. Mia also clenched his fists. For a time, everyone was full of fighting spirit. It was Levi who guarded them before. Now they are here to guard Levi. Grandma, you are wrong, Dad is the strongest. Levi Garrison shouted. Chapter 1603. Everyone laughed when they heard it. This kid. I really love Dad. Father is the tallest and most powerful in the eyes of a child. Several people. Emma smiled. In fact, Levi Garrison really wanted to tell them that he was invincible. But he held back. On the contrary, now he is an ordinary person, which can stimulate Zoe's motivation even more. Let them progress faster. It's definitely a good thing. I won't disclose it for the time being. Almost all Arudaya is actively preparing for the war. At this time, in the snowy mountains of Fengtian City, the strong men with Tuibazunwan and the others also began to move. He's just like a stunt boy, he doesn't listen. Is it all right now? Become a victim of the covenant of the gods. The whole family is destroyed. I said that as long as he goes out, the masters who made the covenant of the gods will definitely slaughter. He just won't listen. Everyone was very angry. It is believed that the ruler who made the covenant of the gods killed the line of Tuibazunwan. No one had thought of Levi Garrison's destruction of them. No way, Zunwan died like this. What kind of face does my Twiba clan have? He doesn't take revenge. Let's take revenge. Now that the covenant of the gods is broken, we can enter and leave wantonly. Command, Twiba clan, everyone gather. Go south, kill Levi Garrison. There are 4 major forces in the Twiba clan. Twiba Zunwan is the 3rd child. Now the other 3 veins are united and are going south. After the covenant of the gods was broken, the supreme powerhouses around the world were ready to move. But it was the Twiba clan who really took the action. They headed southward and mighty. More than 3 times stronger than the previous Twiba Zunwan team. Especially the number and strength of supreme-level powerhouses can be more than 3 times. As soon as the Twiba clan came out, they called out the slogan, "The one who blocked the road, kills. No mercy." Messiah could only clear the way and let them come. At the same time, there are supreme-level powerhouses all over Arudaya. But they are not as high profile as the Twiba clan. Everyone sneaked into the world of ordinary people quietly. At this moment, Xiao Feng and others who are in charge of the central theater of Arudaya see Twiba's family heading south. They are anxious. They shouldn't they go to Yan people? Absolutely. It is their Twiba clan who broke the covenant of the gods. Now they are definitely going to Yan people. Everyone said. We want to stop, and we can't let them hurt Yan people. Everyone is in a desperate posture. Xiao Feng thought for a while and said, let them go. Okay. Everyone was taken aback. Xiao Feng, what do you mean? Watching them deal with the benefactor. Everyone is very puzzled. Xiao Feng glanced at the crowd and said, first of all, we can't stop them. Going to fight with them will only increase casualties. Secondly, Yan people definitely have a way to deal with it. Hey? Yan people can do it. Everyone was taken aback. Yan people are definitely not ordinary people. It's impossible for ordinary people to train us to such a degree. And how powerful Junior Sister Lavilia is, do you all know? Everyone is thoughtful. What's more terrifying is the last time the pseudo-supreme level powerhouse, how did he know that he was in the dark? He also specially brought it to the training base to let us fight. What? Thinking of this, everyone showed crazy expressions. So I say that Yan people are by no means ordinary people. Xiao Feng was very sure. Finally, the Twiba clan left in the central theater. Chapter 1604. However, Xiao Feng immediately passed the message to Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison's reply was for him to solve and let Xiao Feng block all information. After Xiao Feng made the operation, the whereabouts of Twiba's clan disappeared. No one knows. After that battle, Levi Garrison clearly knew his strength. He is not afraid of Twiba family. But what made Levi Garrison strange was that he discovered that someone was staring at their family in the dark recently. From the perspective of breath, he is definitely a supreme powerhouse. Especially when Lavilia and the others were training, that person kept staring. It seems very interested. M.BG. However, there is no hostility for the time being. Levi Garrison pretended not to find out. He wants to see what these people are doing. Soon the Twiba clan went south to Jiangbei. Directly towards Levi Garrison came thousands of Twiba family besieged Levi Garrison. Twiba Zunpeng, Twiba Zunken, and Twiba Zunli led the team personally. Twiba Zunwan is the 3rd child of the Twiba family. Levi Garrison killed our nephew Longcheng, are you convicted? Twiba Zunpeng roared. It's wrong, I killed him. And I killed him and his 2 brothers. Levi Garrison admitted frankly. Hey? You? Impossible. The youngest and the 3rd line of them was annihilated because they violated the covenant of the Gods! What does it have to do with you? The crowd retorted. Levi Garrison helplessly spread his hands. When have I been the maker of Cheng's covenant of gods? Stop talking nonsense. Come here today to kill you. One of the young men walked towards Levi Garrison. He raised his fist, raging vigorously, with gusts of wind. The power of a punch is terrifying. In everyone's eyes, Levi Garrison, an ordinary person, would have to die with a punch. You are not allowed to bully Dad. At this moment, the voice of a murderer sounded. A child suddenly appeared in front of Levi Garrison. The little fist banged up. Boom! After a muffled noise. Ding 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 ding. The young master of the Twiba clan withdrew more than a dozen steps. Puff! He spurted blood even more. He looked at the little bit in front of him incredulously. Staring at him fiercely. To protect his father, Lavilia raised his fist. But this shot shocked the audience. Lavilia knocked back the master of the Twiba clan with a single punch. Although he is a master of the Twiba clan. But that is definitely a master. He was kicked out by a few-year-old kid. Levi Garrison touched Lavilia's head. Lavilia really is the best. The audience was silent. Twiba Zunpeng and everyone else didn't react. Staring at Lavilia unblinking eyes. This. Too frightening. This kind of genius is rare in the world. Even the Twiba clan, the supreme level strong and the pseudo-extreme level strong are like clouds. Geniuses come out in large numbers. There is no such a genius as Lavilia. Too frightening. This is the strongest genius I have ever seen, there is no one. Once this little baby is known by others, it will definitely make a sensation in the world and will be snatched by everyone. The trio of Twiba Zunpeng showed terrible smiles. They want to take the king away and cultivate. Who doesn't want such a genius seedling? Come here, listen to my orders. Kill Levi Garrison, and then take this little baby back. She must be the hope for my Twiba family to stand in the future. Twiba Zunpeng smiled greedily. The masters pressed against Levi Garrison and Lavilia. I see who dares to move my apprentice. Suddenly, a loud shout came. Chapter 1605. This sound shook the audience. Only Levi Garrison had a calm face. Because he had known someone secretly. The mysterious person who has been monitoring their family. At this moment, he appeared. Levi Garrison also knew why this group of people had been spying on their family during this period of time. They are here for Lavilia. It is estimated that you have long been attracted to Lavilia's talent. Now that the Twiba clan wanted to take Lavilia away, they naturally refused to agree. Who? Everyone in Twiba's clan became vigilant. I saw several figures appearing at the top of the villa. They beat Swexu in white, and they have a dusty temperament on their bodies. But everyone is a supreme powerhouse. Da-da-da. There were footsteps around. Dozens of young people. These people are all pseudo-supreme level powerhouses. As soon as they appeared, Twiba's expression immediately became solemn. They already have a foreboding of each other's strength. The Twiba clan, right? We are Wushuan City in Shu. This little girl is what I saw in Wushuan City. You can't get involved. What? Wushuan City in Shu. When Twiba Zunpeng and others heard this, they were shocked. No one else has heard of it, but Levi Garrison has never heard of it. Familiar with the Twiba family. Before the appearance of the Covenant of the Gods, Wushuan City was one of Arudaya's super powers. Known as the top of Western Shu. Rumor has it that there are hundreds of supreme-level powerhouses. Now that the silence has disappeared for so long, I don't know where Wushuan City has reached. The Twiba clan is far beyond comparison. The two sides are completely different. In addition, the supreme-level powerhouses are also divided into ranks. In the world of the strong, there is a saying that the supreme nine heavens Divide the supreme level powerhouses into 9 levels, from the Supreme 1 Heaven to the Supreme 9 Heaven. Zhuzongtian is naturally the highest. It is also the most difficult to achieve. Rare in the world. There are many supreme powerhouses all over the world. But basically 99% are of the supreme grade. The above is very difficult. The strongest of the Tuiba clan is Tuiba Zunpeng, the supreme triple heaven. Tuiba Zunwan, who was killed by Levi Garrison, was a supreme double heaven. But the Wushuan city in front of us has a lot of powerhouses of the supreme level triple heavens. And even several elders are the supreme level quadruple heavens. The most frightening thing is that Wushuan city possesses a supreme level 5 heavenly powerhouse. Therefore, Wushuan city is the top power in Arudaya. At the top of the list. It is definitely not something that the Tuiba family can contend. Put it this way, a supreme level quadruple heavenly powerhouse can basically annihilate the entire Tuiba clan. The higher the level of the supreme level powerhouse, the stronger. The difference at every level is truly astonishing. That's why the 9 heavens are used to divide the realm. When the Tuiba clan heard about the name of Wushuan city, they immediately panicked. If one is not careful, it makes the other person angry. They must be annihilated. Hey? The seedling that Wushuan city is fond of. Tuiba Zunpeng's teeth were shaking. Yes, that's wrong. Before the covenant of the gods was broken, we were eyeing this child. Wushuan city is not telling lies. Lavilia and the others have been eyeing it long ago. Wushuan city is in Zishu, in the same area as the gates of Zishu. Therefore, they all know the size of the West Shu Gate clan. Especially the emergence of genius seedlings like Lavilia, they have long been eyeing. After the covenant of the gods was broken, the elders of Wushuan city rushed to observe the king. Observing this period of time, I feel that Lavilia is the strongest genius of this era. Just as everyone was planning to take it away, the Tuiba clan appeared. Chapter 1606. Why do you Tuiba clan dare to touch the people we like in Wushuan city? Wushuanchan shouted coldly. The seedling in Wushuan city, how dare we? We are just here to avenge. This person killed our Tuiba clan, and we are here to avenge. Just kill him, we leave immediately. Tuiba Zunpeng stated very clearly and would not hit Lavilia's idea. You can't kill Dad. Lavilia said milky voice. Presumptuous. He is the father of this child, no one can move. The people in Wushuan city immediately shouted. I warn you Tuiba family. From now on, this child's family is under the protection of Wushuan city. Whoever wants to move will have a dead end. Lavilia is of great value. Enough for Wushuanchan to protect everything. What? The expressions of everyone in Tuiba's clan changed drastically. If Wushuan city covers Levi Garrison, wouldn't they be unable to take revenge? Nianzai Tuiba Zunwan broke the covenant of the gods and set us free. We will not pursue this matter, otherwise we will kill without mercy. Facing the threat of Wushuan city, the Tuiba clan could only break their teeth and swallow in their stomachs. Otherwise, there is no other way. Hey, you quarreled and quarreled, did you put me in your eyes? This is my home, my site. At this moment, Levi Garrison's impatient voice sounded. Immediately, everyone's eyes were on Levi Garrison. Everyone was surprised. Does an ordinary person dare to speak among a bunch of supreme-level powerhouses? I really don't know how high the sky is. You guys get out. Otherwise I will kill you all. Levi Garrison pointed to the Tuiba family. The tone is domineering and aggressive. Let everyone have a trace of trance. It seems that he really has this strength. Levi Garrison looked at the people in Wushuan city again, and said coldly, you guys go quickly. 2. My daughter can teach it by herself, no other. People are needed. Everyone was taken aback. Levi Garrison is too domineering, too mad, right? Don't pay attention to Twiba clan and Washuan City? What are you doing in a daze? Get out of here. It's Washuan City's private matter now. The beginning of Washuan City warned the Twiba family. Withdraw. Twiba Zunpeng ordered. The Twiba clan left soon. Xiao Feng in the Central Theater has been staring at Jiang Bei's dynamics. Seeing Twiba's family evacuated, he smiled relaxedly. I just said that the teacher has a way. Now his crisis is resolved, and we can rest assured. In addition, we need to work harder. So next time the teacher is in trouble, we can directly protect it. Not like this. The other side. Levi Garrison confronted Washuanchinj. Several elders from Washuan City came to Levi Garrison. Okay, let's talk about our business now. We will inform you that your daughter has officially been accepted as an apprentice by Washuan City. Let's put it this way. Her talent is the strongest we have ever seen. We will use all our resources to train her. Don't worry about her. And you can rest assured that your family is under the protection of Washuan City. The other party expresses his attitude directly. Especially when the great elders saw Lavilia, their faces were full of smiles. Looking at Lavilia's appearance, the more I look at it, the more I like it. The main reason is that the value of Lavilia is too great. Washuan City must hurry up before other people know about it, take the Lavilia away and train it. First. After cultivating a monarch, Washuan City may be able to have a legendary appearance in the future. That is, the supreme level 6th heaven and above. I don't agree, Lavilia, I can cultivate it by myself. Chapter 1607. Levi Garrison looked down on these people. He has never heard of Washuan City. Only believe in yourself and the prison elder. Who can be better than him? Impossible. Besides, Washuan City didn't take it seriously. Okay. As soon as Levi Garrison said this, everyone in Washuan City was stunned. What do you mean? Look down on them? Do the Twiba clan dare to look down on them? M.BG. Dare not. How can an ordinary person dare to speak madly? The elders of Washuan City were dumbfounded by Levi Garrison's words. My daughter's aptitude is very good, which shows that you still have vision. But she can be trained by me. I am not at ease with other people, and they are not qualified. Levi Garrison told the truth. But this sentence has offended Washuan City to death. What do you mean? My Washuan City is not qualified. Humph. To tell you the truth, the one who wants to accept your daughter as a disciple is the old city lord of our Washuan City. He is a supreme level 5 heavenly powerhouse. The Twiba clan just now, he can destroy it with his fingers. Not only that, the 4 elders of Washuan City, that is, the 4 supreme level quadruple heavenly powers, will also train your daughter together. When several elders said this, dozens of other people in Washuan City who came with him were startled. Terrible. Too frightening. I thought the apprentice was one of the elders. Unexpectedly, he is the strongest city lord of Washuan City. The other 4 elders should also give in to each other. This is taking the entire Washuan City to gamble on the future of the lord. If other supreme level powerhouses or forces heard it, they would be shocked to drop their jaws. This is a great honor. Use the power of Washuanchinj to raise a child. This is rare in the world. But on the other hand, it also shows how terrifying Lavilia's talent is. I'll take care of your city lord, but it's not qualified anyway. Levi Garrison said coldly. Dare to grab his daughter? Hit. What's wrong with him? Just take the child away. The second elder of Washuan City was grumpy and dissatisfied. Yet, what are we talking nonsense with an ordinary person? Everyone in Washuan City reacted one by one. They are about to take Lavilia away. Levi Garrison held Lavilia in his arms. Who would dare to move? Don't force me to do it. Levi Garrison scanned everyone's face coldly. Levi Garrison, do you want to do something to us? We have known you before. When you were the king of the word side by side, you were really strong. There is no master-level powerhouse to be your opponent. But at that time you were at best a pseudo-superior level powerhouse. At that time, you were not able to challenge us, not to mention you who are ordinary people. Now, Wushuan City Third Elder sneered. You can try. Levi Garrison stood against her. Come, take it, take the kid away. The second elder ordered directly. Just as the swords were drawn, Zoe and a large group of people ran in. Among them are the Western Shu Emperor and Tang Bei Dao. Almost all the senior officials of the Zisha clan came. When these people came, they all knelt before everyone in Wushuan City. It turns out that the legends recorded in the ancient books of the clan of Western Shu all came from Wushuan City. Even most of the inheritance of the Western Shu family is Wushuanchinch. Wushuan City is their ancestor. Now that Wushuan City is about to accept monarchs as disciples, everyone rushes in excitement. Levi Garrison, what are you blocking? You can be accepted as an apprentice by Wushuan City. This is definitely the greatest glory of your life. In the future, even you and Zoe will also take off. Chapter 1608. Does the mother understand that the child is expensive? Lavilia is the hope of Wushuan City, and you follow to enjoy the blessing. Indirectly, you are the people of Wushuan City. It's like a fish in water in this era. The old lady and the crowd persuaded. Not only Lavilia's parents, but also Lavilia's 7 aunts and 8 aunts also took off. In the true sense, one person can ascend to heaven. It's like the richest man born in a small village, and the whole village follows to enjoy the blessing. It's just that now ordinary people are replaced by supreme-level powerhouses. Therefore, both the Li family and the Western Shu family wanted Lavilia to go to Wushuan City. I feel good too. Well, indeed, Lavilia's talent needs a bigger stage. Emma and Mia also agreed that Lavilia was taken as a disciple. Of course they are different from those people. Those people are for their own benefit. They are for the good of Lavilia. Levi Garrison looked at Zoe, do you think so too? Zoe nodded, yes, it's wrong. Although I can't bear Lavilia, Lavilia is destined to be unable to be an ordinary person. It's better to give Lavilia a bright future. I know that you have a high level of coaching, and we have all become masters in a short time. But Lavilia is too talented, you must not waste half a point. Nowadays, there is no twin city to cultivate monarchs, and they have to use all their resources. I think this is Lavilia's stage. Zoe's words made everyone in Wushuan City admire. Well, there are still people who make sense. The second elder looked at Levi Garrison with a sneer. Levi Garrison heard that? Even your wife is saying that the talent of this baby girl is wasted on your hands. No matter how hard you train, you don't deserve to be this kid's master. Zoe looked at Levi Garrison with a complicated expression. She did mean so. It's the same with others. They all felt that if Lavilia let Levi Garrison keep her talent would be wasted. To put it bluntly, what are you robbing Wushuan City from a waste person? Levi Garrison pursed his lips. Originally, he would never let Lavilia leave him for half a step. But he had a new idea. Decided to let Lavilia go to Wushuan City. First, both mother and wife agree. Second, Wushuan City treats Lavilia as a treasure, and Lavilia is not dangerous. Third, let Lavilia experience it. Well, if that's the case, I reluctantly agreed. But I have the conditions. Levi Garrison said. If someone else makes a request, I will kill it on the spot, but for the face of this girl, I allow you to Mention 1. The second elder looked at Levi Garrison murderously. But he looked amiable to Lavilia again. Child, I want to see it once every 3 days. No. Resolutely no. Watch it once a year. Watch it once in 7 days. After some argument, the two sides reached a compromise. Allow Levi Garrison to visit them once a month. I think you are good. You are Lavilia's mother again, I decided to accept you as a disciple. And you, Lavilia's aunt. You are with you too. The third elders are also women, and they are very talented when seeing Zoe and Mia. To accept 2 as apprentices. In the end, the 2 were accepted as registered disciples. The 2 do not have to go to Wushuan City deliberately. Still continue normal life. But the 3 elders will occasionally guide them. Levi Garrison really didn't think that your daughter, wife, and sister would all be accepted as apprentices by Wushuan City. What about you? Relying on a group of women to protect you? You are really embarrassing. Everyone's words are heartbreaking, but it is true. Chapter 1609. It is said that mothers are expensive by their children. But everyone has never heard that fathers are expensive by sons. See you today. It is Levi Garrison. All women in the family will become masters. In the future, Arudaya, and even the top group of people in the world. But Levi Garrison was nothing. Rely on the protection of a group of women. It became the biggest joke for a while. Everyone looked at him with mockery. In fact, in the lives of ordinary people, this is also a great insult to a man. When every man hears such words, he is afraid that he will have to explode, right? When everyone saw Levi Garrison's face gloomy and sad, he thought it was an expression of helplessness. Little did it know that Levi Garrison didn't even put Wushuan City in his eyes. The second day. Wushuan City is about to take away Lavilia. Before leaving, Levi Garrison quietly stuffed Lavilia something. Lavilia, good deed, if you encounter danger in the future, use this thing, and Dad will appear in front of you immediately. Remember. Lavilia held things tightly and nodded fiercely. Take Levi Garrison's words all in mind. Lavilia is very good and smart. Know what you want to do. When the parting time was approaching, they were all crying. Wushuang City, I warn you, but if my daughter is half wronged, I, Levi Garrison, will surely level Wushuan City. The Emperor is on top, and I, yet. Levi, will do what I say. Lavilia is Levi Garrison's heart. He will never let Lavilia be half wronged. Although Zoe didn't speak, he clenched his fists tightly. She also didn't want Levi Garrison to be half wronged. Ha ha ha. But Levi Garrison said this. Everyone in the audience laughed. I have never heard of anyone who dared to threaten a group of supreme-level powerhouses. Especially this is Wushuan City. Still leveling Wushuan Chinch? It's ridiculous. Then you have to be a powerhouse of the supreme grade 6th heaven to dare to say this. But the existence of Feng Mao Water Chestnut, the supreme level 6 heavenly powerhouse. By no means is Levi Garrison an ordinary person. This tone is too big, right? Everyone in Wushuan City just regarded this as a joke. Because before the covenant of the gods, no one dared to speak the arrogant words of taping. Wushuan City. Lavilia is the little ancestor. Everyone is too late, baby. How can she be wronged? Who bullies her? And who I kill? The second elder sneered. Finally, Lavilia was taken away. However, Wushuan City left Levi Garrison's family a lot of benefits. Not only to shelter them. A lot of magical medicine was also given. These magic drugs are much stronger than the 4 gate valves. It is no exaggeration to say that these magical medicines can definitely improve a person's physique. The human body is repaired and improved to the greatest extent. Longevity is overkill. Originally, these magical medicines and exercises and combat skills were mainly given to Levi Garrison's family. But as soon as the things stayed, they were divided between the Lee family and the Western Shu family. Zoe, you are already a registered disciple of Wushuan City. What do you want? You don't like these things. As for Levi Garrison's visit to you as an ordinary person, your martial art has been abolished, and you don't even need this thing. Like Lavilia's talent, it's a waste in your hands. In this way, nothing was distributed to Levi Garrison's family at all. Then you can give my mother a little bit. Zoe was angry, but wanted to fight for Emma. She's just an old lady exercising. She still wants to practice martial arts. Li Songkui and Zhang Wentao also took the rest. These two are also practicing martial arts. Seeing Levi Garrison's gloomy face, Zoe felt a little distressed. Chapter 1610. Now everyone around you can practice martial arts. Even Li Songkui and the others will clamor to become the supreme powerhouse. However, the once great hero, the invincible god of war, has abolished his martial arts, and he can no longer practice martial arts for his life. The old cat and dog stood in front of you, showing off what he was. He even had to act on Levi Garrison. You can only clenched your fists and watched helplessly. This is an invisible injury and blow. Especially for a former king, the gap and pressure are really unbearable. Enough to destroy a person's psychology. Don't take it seriously. You are still a hero in your mind. What's wrong with my child protecting you? Zoe comforted. M.Bg. I'm just worried that Lavilia is unhappy. If she is unhappy, I will pick it up immediately. The cause of Levi Garrison's melancholy was that Lavilia had left. It feels like the sky is falling. I can't do anything at all. Isn't it true that Zoe? Don't worry, Lavilia will not suffer. I'm worried that if you and your mother will be distracted by magical medicine and exercises, you will get angry and ask them to reason. Zoe is mainly afraid of this. Levi Garrison waved his hand. No. You and Mom can follow me to practice, it's more effective than any magical medicine technique. Levi Garrison didn't take the things left by Wushuan City seriously. It doesn't work for him. At present, Levi Garrison asked his mother to practice the Tai Chi-like fist. As everyone knows, this set of exercises is simply against the sky. This practice concept is to be integrated with the heaven and the earth. Cultivating to the depths is absolutely terrifying. Better than any panacea. Next, life is business as usual. It's just that Lavilia is not by his side. Everyone always feels empty. During this time, the outside world has changed quite a bit. The upper circles have gradually accepted the birth of the supreme powerhouse. Even many ordinary people already know the concept of a supreme powerhouse. This group of people is just like the gods in the book. Possess supernatural ability. The supreme level powerhouses are not only martial artists. There are also some magic masters, such as some feng shui masters. Have the ability to change fate against the sky. Especially advanced masters are omnipotent. They are also supreme level powerhouses. However, after the supreme level powerhouse joined the WDO, there was no such thing as Messiah. Had imagined. Cause harm to the world for the first time. Instead, they are very quiet. It is almost difficult to catch them. Only know that they are looking for resources for cultivation and seedlings of genius. There is always no big move. It's the same even abroad. This group of supreme level powerhouses has been restricted for so many years, it is impossible to be so quiet all the time. What are they brewing? The more this is the case, the more we have to beware. Arudaya will definitely focus on the fire center. Messiah was speculating. But this gives us more time, let us prepare actively. This is a blessing. Next we will actively look for some supreme level powerhouses and persuade them to join Arudaya's camp. Serve for this ancient country. By the way, does Levi Garrison have any information about repairing the martial arteries? This is an issue that everyone is concerned about. Levi Garrison will return soon. Arudaya's strength is stronger. There is really news. We have found an existence that can repair Levi Garrison's martial arteries. Not to mention that it can be repaired, but it can only be tried. The senior messiah danced with excitement, then go and find someone. Chapter 1611. The man hesitated, but the other party has the conditions. Regardless of his conditions, he can repair Levi Garrison's martial arts. Yes, repair Levi Garrison's martial art at all costs. Messiah was free this time. Well, in that case, it should be a big deal. What we are looking for is an ancient medical family. It is the family of Arudaya Dr. King. They have amazing ancient medical skills, which may be a resurrection for ordinary people. It is said that they can turn an ordinary warrior into a supreme powerhouse by relying on medicine and ancient medical techniques. Hiss! Hearing this, everyone gasped. Relying on ancient medical techniques and magical medicine to create a supreme powerhouse? This is too scary, right? Messiah even gave birth to an idea. Let this ancient family of medical skills help Arudaya build a supreme powerhouse. Messiah contacted the family of medical kings at any cost. The medical king family sent a senior elder Wang Xing to follow Messiah to find Levi Garrison. Wang Xing himself is also a supreme powerhouse. It is the legendary medical and martial arts double repair. Even medical skills are also practiced, and martial arts are also practiced. Wu Mai was completely shattered and destroyed. Wang Xing heard Levi Garrison's situation, his face was solemn. Is it hard? Someone asked Messiah. It stands to reason that it is basically impossible to repair. Martial veins are different from other veins. Especially if you destroy them directly. Even if it is repaired, it will not reach the previous state. But the specific situation depends on the individual. Wang Xing said seriously. Messiah's face was solemn. Soon, everyone came to Jiangbei. Zoe and Mia followed the three elders of Wushuan City to practice. Only Levi Garrison and his mother were there. Levi Garrison, we want to bring you good news. Messiah told Levi Garrison his future intentions. Levi Garrison was taken aback. What martial art does he need to repair? He's all well long ago. Besides, the old man said that there are few people in this world who can repair the martial arteries. Most of the things that can be repaired are deceptive. I don't need it. It's nice to be an ordinary person. Levi Garrison refused directly. Are you still angry with Messiah and Levi? No, I don't care about it. Since I am angry, let the master show you. Levi Garrison was helpless. It can only be checked by Master Wang Xing and his disciples. After the inspection, Master Wang Xing and a few disciples probably walked far away. Several people began to discuss. Wang Xing is a supreme powerhouse, and soundproofing is a piece of cake for him. So he talked to the disciple. Not to mention that ordinary people can hear it, even the supreme level powerhouse may not be able to hear it. But Levi Garrison heard it clearly. Master's situation is not good? This boy's martial art is directly ineffective. Yes, it's okay to be destroyed. The point is that this kid's martial art no longer exists. How can we fix it? Master Wang Xing nodded. Yes, it's wrong. Don't say it's us, even if the doctor is here, there is nothing to do. If you tell the truth directly to Messiah, not only will the face of my medical king family be lost, but we will also have no benefit at all. Master, what should I do? Several disciples asked. Then let's drag the Messiah first. lied to them that Levi Garrison's martial arteries can be repaired, but it is extremely difficult and requires a great price. Then we can make a request. Several disciples also laughed, yes, yes, so we can get more. Chapter 1612. Not only that, we can still drag on. It is said that Levi Garrison's situation is rare in the world, and it will take a long time to recover. Master Wang Xing touched his beard and showed a successful smile. Levi Garrison, who was not far away, could hear clearly. This group couldn't find out where their martial art was. That's because the prison elders repaired their martial veins while turning them into invisible veins. It's just that other people can't find out where the martial art is. But it does exist. This group of people couldn't find out, but they still wanted to deceive Messiah to get benefits. Really shameless. Soon Messiah surrounded him. How is the master, M.Bg? Wang Xing looked solemn, his brows were full of sorrow. I want to know if he is important to you. Wang Xing asked. Messiah was taken aback for a moment, and then said, important, extremely important. He is very important to Arudaya. Then you are willing to pay a huge price for him? Wang Xing asked. It can be said at all costs. Messiah showed his attitude. I can rest assured that. Wang Xing showed a smile. In this case, he can put forward any conditions at will. To be honest, his situation is more serious than we thought. We have encountered many martial arts damaged or even destroyed. But he is not as serious. Wang Xing began to flicker. But this word came out. Messiah started to panic. After all, what a master like Wang Xing said is authority. Does the master have a way to fix it? Everyone asked. Yes, yes, but we need to consume the most precious magical medicine and medical skills of my family of medical kings. We pay the greatest price. If it consumes the most resources of the family, I am afraid that the family will not agree. Unless. Messiah was anxious immediately, unless what? Unless you have to meet all the conditions put forward by the medical king family. Otherwise, you won't be washed. Wang Xing finally said his purpose. Master, rest assured. Any request, we will meet. We have said before, at all costs. See Messiah like this. Wang Xing and his disciples were happy to blossom. Arudaya is vast and abundant. What they want, the other party will give it. Just as Wang Xing was about to make a request, Levi Garrison's voice sounded, hold on. Okay. Everyone looked at Levi Garrison in surprise. I don't know what he is going to do. My martial art does not need to be repaired, you don't need to mention any conditions. Levi Garrison said. No way, Levi, for Arudaya's future, your martial arteries must be repaired. Messiah strongly demanded. They are a group of liars, they can't repair my martial arts. What's more, I have no martial arts, and they can't find it if they find it. The language is not surprising and endless. As soon as Levi Garrison said this, Wang Xing was taken aback. Did this kid just overheard them talking? Several disciples all looked at Wang Xing. Wang Xing shook his head directly. It means impossible. Just now he blocked everything with vigor, and no sound could be heard. How can an ordinary person hear it? Who said that we can't repair it? We are a family of medical kings. Not to mention repairing the martial arteries, we can even create the supreme powerhouse. Messiah, what is his attitude? Don't believe us, well, we won't treat him anymore. Wang Xing wanted to come up with lust and indulgence. As a result, Levi Garrison shouted directly, then get out. Chapter 1613. Levi Garrison's words angered Wang Xing and several others. Okay, you guys have a seed. But you have to remember that they asked me to repair the martial arteries, not by themselves. Then we'll leave. If we want to repair the martial arteries, this kid has to kowtow. Wang Xing and several people left directly. They were right, Messiah. Since Levi Garrison's martial art needs to be repaired at all costs, we'll never let them leave easily. Sure enough, few people took a few steps, and Messiah immediately chased it out. Master, calm down, his character is like this. He is malicious towards you. Also ask the master to take action and help him repair his martial arteries, m.bg. Several Messiah arched hands. No, no one has ever dared to speak to master like this. I want to repair the martial art, unless the kid kneels and asks. Several apprentices sneered. Yes, he asks for it himself, I will do it. Wang Xing left a word and left with his apprentice. In his opinion, Messiah did not hesitate to pay any price. They just mentioned that condition, letting Levi Garrison kneel to ask for the simplest condition. But what he didn't think was that Levi Garrison would never be like this. Don't say he is invincible now. Even an ordinary person, he would not do anything to lay down his dignity. After returning to the villa. What's the matter with you and Levi? Everyone is good for you. If you don't agree with you, you lose your temper and leave the master. The senior officials of Messiah bury the grievance a bit. Levi Garrison smiled, I know you are good for me, but they are just a bunch of liars. They couldn't even find out my martial arts, so they threatened to fix it. The purpose is to deceive you and get rich benefits. Hearing Levi Garrison's explanation, naturally no one believed it. It is said that he heard the conversation between Master Wang and the others, and no one would write it. Levi, your hot temper has changed. Look, you have offended the master, people want you to kneel and beg, only then promised to repair your martial arteries. But we all know that your character must never kneel down. Messiah left. It is absolutely impossible for Levi Garrison to kneel and beg for help. They can only use other conditions to ask Master Wang to agree to repair the martial arteries. Levi Garrison didn't think that Messiah would bow down to ask Master Wang. He obviously doesn't need to repair the martial art. What's more, these crooks can't fix it. On the other side, Master Wang knew that Levi Garrison could not kneel and beg him. Messiah wanted to use other conditions to let him take action. He has been hanging on Messiah's appetite. The longer the delay, the greater the benefits they will get. In a blink of an eye, a month's time came. It was when Levi Garrison came to visit La Villa. When the time came, Levi Garrison immediately followed Zoe and Mia to Wushuan City. The two are the registered disciples of the three elders, and they are familiar with Wushuan City. Wushuan City is an ancient city in the depths of the bamboo forest in Shuzhong. If it weren't for someone to lead the way, you wouldn't find it. Because the ancient city is full of institutions and formations. Coming to the nearby area will only drive you far, unable to approach Wushuan City. After coming to Wushuan City, there are many people inside. When I saw Zoe and Mia, many people gathered around. Because of their beautiful faces and extremely high talents, the two are deeply loved by the men of Wushuan City. If it hadn't been for hearing that Zoe had a husband, there would be many suitors. Sister Zoe has such a high talent and such a beautiful face, why did she follow an ordinary person? Everyone's eyes fell on Levi Garrison. Say something bad. Shut up. Whoever talks nonsense, I smash someone's mouth. Levi Garrison suddenly became angry. Chapter 1614. In the eyes of Levi Garrison, these disciples of Wushuan City are just kiddies. Dare to hit Zoe's idea? Court death. In his eyes, Wushuan City could level off at any time. Not to mention these little kids. Everyone was stunned by Levi Garrison's words. Zoe and Mia were both taken aback. Levi Garrison's character is too hot. It can cause trouble everywhere. But here is Wushuan City. Everyone is a warrior who flies away from the sky. Killing is invisible. What are you doing as an ordinary person to provoke others? What? On the site of Wushuan City, did we let an ordinary person provoke? Several people came to Levi Garrison step by step. Come on, aren't you going to slap my mouth? Come on. The person who just mocked, facing Levi Garrison. Levi must hold back. This is Wushuan City. Zoe and Mia reminded. I just said, what's the matter? Your wife and you are a waste. Your kind of waste is not good for her. She should have left with you and find someone else. The man continued to speak. Snapped. Suddenly, the next moment, Levi Garrison lifted his slap on the man's face. The voice was crisp and resounded throughout the audience. Hundreds of people around were stunned. No one thought that Levi Garrison would make a move. I don't even think that an ordinary person would have such power. What? Do you dare to hit me? You are looking for death. Only then did Lin Gan, the one who was beaten, reacted, and he was about to act on Levi Garrison. Father! But at this moment, a crisp child voice came. Seeing Lavilia a few jumps, he appeared in front of Levi Garrison and threw himself in Levi Garrison's arms. Immediately, the surroundings were quiet. Lin Gan abruptly retracted the trick that he had stretched out, and looked stupidly. Levi Garrison is not afraid of him. Zoe is not afraid of the two. But this kid alone. He is scared. In other words, the whole Wushuan City is afraid. She is the little ancestor of Wushuan City. All the seniors are pampered. I'm afraid of turning it in my mouth, and I'm afraid of losing it when I hold it in my hand. Everything depends on her. If you beat or kill her father, that is the sky is falling. Lin Gan clenched his fists and stared at Levi Garrison with red eyes. I took this punch, I have a chance. Lin Gan looked at Levi Garrison. Don't, just report it on the spot. Levi Garrison sneered. Lin Gan wanted revenge, but he glanced at Lavilia and held back. But you really shame a man. At this age, I have to rely on the protection of a daughter who is a few years old. If I hit you to death, forget it. There was such a voice around. In this world where the strong are respected, everyone looks down on the soft fan man the most. Especially Levi Garrison not only eats his wife's soft rice, but also his daughter's soft rice. Rely on the daughter to spend a lifetime. This is what they hate most. This is how a man has the most dignity. You are not allowed to say that about Dad. What happened to my mom and I protecting him? Lavilia's milk stared at her fiercely. I'm so ridiculous. Rely on a child to protect you. If you are a little self-aware, don't come out and hang around. Yeah, it's better to just hit the head to death. Don't say men can't stand it, I can't stand it a woman. Faced with such a scene, everyone couldn't help but make a similar mockery. Shut up all. Go back all. At this moment, suddenly there was a thunderous sound from the sky. City Lord. It's the City Lord who has appeared. This group of people ran away like a mouse seeing a cat. Lavilia said excitedly, Dad, it is the Master who is here. I will take you to see the Master. Chapter 1615. It is good. Levi Garrison followed. He was also very curious about the city owner of Wushuan City. And looking at Lavilia's state, you know that she is very happy in Wushuan City. Lavilia took Levi Garrison all the way to the ancient buildings in the depths of Wushuan City. This is the forbidden area of Wushuan City, and it is also a place for high-level activities such as the City Lord and the Four Elders. Master, this is my father. Lavilia shouted excitedly. There was a tall figure in front, a white gown, with a dusty temperament on his body. He looks like he is in his 30s. Good-looking face, kind smile. M.Bg. Putting it in the general population is like a teacher. Just an ordinary person, you would never think that this person may not even be killed by nuclear weapons. Lavilia. Fu Kaiyufeng touched Lavilia's little head. But when facing Levi Garrison, he changed his expression. Majestic, unsmiling, aloof, the palm of the hand is overpowering. As if he is the god who rules the world. Levi Garrison was just like an ant in front of him. Of course it is so wrong. Fu Kaiyufeng is a powerhouse of the supreme level 5th heaven. He can survive the bombing of artillery bombs, and nuclear bombs may exist. Helplessly. He is like a god to ordinary people. You are Lavilia's father? Fu Kaiyufeng asked coldly. It's me. However, what surprised Fu Kaiyufeng was that this ordinary person was so powerful. Not timid at all. Even face him directly. I heard you were instructing Lavilia before. Fu Kaiyufeng asked with an unhappy expression. Wrong. In fact, it is best for Lavilia to stay by my side. But the grandmother and mother of the child hope Lavilia will have more experience and experience. I only agreed, otherwise you are not qualified to be the master of Lavilia. Levi Garrison said seriously. But these words angered Fu Kaiyufeng. Enraged all the high levels of Wushuan City. Wu Kaiyufeng, the lord of Wushuan City, is not qualified enough? Is there any qualification for a supreme level 5 heavenly powerhouse? Is Levi Garrison crazy? Is this ordinary person shameless when talking big? Levi Garrison, what are you talking about? Don't do whatever you want because you are Lavilia's father. You are in a hurry, you won't end. Well. Hurry up and apologize to the Lord. Several elders immediately urged. Regardless of Fu Kaiyufeng's superficial kindness, in fact, he doesn't match his appearance at all. He is a big killer who doesn't blink. Kill if you don't agree. Countless people have died in his hands, about hundreds of thousands. Has the title of blood-drinking sword sovereign. On weekdays, the people in Wushuan City saw him and stayed away. That's why the people who were about to bully Levi Garrison ran away as soon as they heard the sound. The reason for showing a kind side is entirely because of Lavilia. Her talent is too high and too high. So Fu Kaiyufeng regarded her as a treasure. Zoe and Mia have also heard the legend of the city lord. The two immediately persuaded in a low voice, Levi, you quickly apologize. The city lord has a bad temper. This is different from the life of ordinary people. There are even no rules at all. The Lord himself is the rule. Want to kill people, no one will do anything to him. They were really afraid that Levi Garrison's stubborn temper would annoy the city lord. Upon hearing this, Levi Garrison was unhappy. What does it matter to me that he has a bad temper? He is not qualified. Levi Garrison said. Everyone. What are you really afraid of? You said I'm not qualified. Fu Kaiyufeng's voice changed obviously, as cold as from hell. Chapter 1616. The surrounding temperature dropped rapidly. Everyone couldn't help but shudder. Looking at Fu Kaiyufeng in horror, for fear that he would be troubled. I don't know that Levi Garrison is vying to face each other. Yes, you are not qualified. I am not qualified. Fu Kaiyufeng suddenly raised his tone, like a billowing thunder, exploding in the air. Rumble. The earth began to tremble, and the whole Wushuan city began to shake vigorously. Everyone was shaken. Wow! What was even more frightening was an invisible force exuding from Fu Kaiyufeng's body. This terrible force is pressing all around. The dense bamboo forests around Wushuan City burst into pieces at a speed visible to the naked eye. Spread. It keeps spreading out. The bamboo forests around Wushuan City for dozens of miles were all battered. Not only that, the sky in Wushuan City is about to get dark. Billowing clouds are coming, and a storm is coming. Zoe and Mia were shocked. Although they gradually learn about martial arts, they have never seen such a scene. This is the aura of the Supreme Level 5 Heavenly Powerhouse. As soon as his momentum came out, the world changed color. Not to mention he did it unimaginable. Boom boom boom. Soon, Fu Kaiyu Feng's palm twirled. Unexpectedly a group of tornado storms gathered. The tornado storm is getting bigger and bigger. A terrible wind swept all around. It's the same to bring everyone up to heaven. The tornado storm is getting bigger and bigger. There is a tendency to cover the entire Wushuan City. While controlling all this, Fu Kaiyu Feng asked Levi Garrison, "Now, am I eligible?" Fu Kaiyu Feng did all this to prove to Levi Garrison how strong he is. Levi Garrison squinted his eyes, not timid at all. When he was about to answer, Lavilia's voice sounded, "Master." "Dad." Lavilia is a sensible child. She was afraid that her father would fight with the master. "Lavilia." The two men answered at the same time. Fu Kaiyu Feng also reduced his momentum. "For now, you are okay. But Lavilia is growing very fast, and I will have to take it away after a few months. At that time you can't teach her, you will only waste her talent." Levi Garrison left here holding Lavilia. Presumptuous. Fu Kaiyu Feng's other apprentices were so angry. An ordinary person, dare to provoke their supreme master like this? Several people wanted to kill Levi Garrison. There is no need to care about an ordinary person. Fu Kaiyu Feng waved his hand to indicate that it didn't matter. "Okay." Everyone was taken aback. Fu Kaiyu Feng has never done this before. It is an ordinary person who should be like trampling an ant to death in his eyes. As a result, he was so tolerant to Levi Garrison. Mainly because of Lavilia. "But master, he is so provocative, and I have the face of Wushuanchenj." Zhang Huji, Fu Kaiyu Feng's eldest disciple, was just halfway through when he was slapped and flew out by Fu Kaiyu Feng. "Are you teaching me to do things?" Fu Kaiyu Feng's cold voice came. "Master, the disciple dare not." Zhang Huji immediately knelt on the ground. However, Zhang Huji wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and clenched his fist tightly. His eyes were red and murderous. Before that, he was hailed as the first genius in Wushuan City and Fu Kaiyu Feng's most beloved big disciple. Set thousands of favorites in one. Wushuan City treats him as a treasure. But when Lavilia came, everything changed. Everyone's attention went to this little kid. He was ignored by everyone. No one cares about him anymore, pays attention to him again. The master hit him unexpectedly. "No. Wushuan City is mine, and I must never let a child get involved." Chapter 1617. A bloodthirsty killing intent flashed in Zhang Huji's eyes. The arrival of Lavilia seriously affected his position in Wushuan City. "Master, get up." Several younger brothers and sisters helped him up. "I really didn't expect that master would beat you for an ordinary person." Others are also very puzzled. The arrival of Lavilia also made them fall out of favor. Status plummeted. Fu Kaiyu Feng didn't guide them anymore. "Big brother, this little kid must not stay in Wushuan City. Otherwise, we will have no status." The second apprentice Zhou Yan said coldly. "Yes, she must not keep it. Everyone else has the same idea." "Okay. Get rid of her then." Zhang Huji took a deep breath. At this moment, Levi Garrison is with Lavilia. "I am very happy to see Lavilia grow up." He is also very happy. Sometimes you don't have to keep Lavilia by your side. Give the child more space to let her play. If you are unhappy or dangerous, tell your father. Father will show up right away. Levi Garrison also asked Lavilia to use the rescue device he gave Lavilia face to face. This is a chip rescuer that can be embedded in the body. As long as Lavilia uses it, Levi Garrison will know it even thousands of miles away, and he will also lock Lavilia's position. After Lavilia used the rescue device, Levi Garrison's phone immediately sensed it. The position is also quickly locked. Levi Garrison and Lavilia stayed for almost half a day. For a long time, people around have been staring at them. Levi Garrison didn't take it seriously, because when he first arrived in Wushuan City, many people were staring at him. Little did they know that the person staring at this time was Zhang Huji. They are discussing how to get rid of Lavilia. If you kill her directly, I'm afraid it's master and they will find a clue and find us. Zhang Huji twisted his brows into the word Sichuan. Should we ask someone to kill her? The second senior sneered. In the world of their warriors, people are indifferent and respect the strong. Each is cold-blooded and ruthless. They never feel guilty about killing a child. No, it's better not to get rid of her through our hands. According to the master's level of affection. If you want to know, you can't forgive us. Zhang Huji shook his head. Everyone looked at Zhang Huji. Big brother, did you think of a way? Zhang Huji smiled. Well, no mistake. Wait and see. In the evening, Lavilia was very obedient and said, Dad, Lavilia has to go to martial arts. Time is up. Good boy, hurry up. Despite Levi Garrison's reluctance, the child always has to sail. The next meeting will be another month away. Levi Garrison stood there, looking at the direction Lavilia was leaving, and looked away for a long time. It's like ordinary parents sending their children to school. That feeling is only known to parents. Don't watch it anymore, Lavilia is very happy. See you again in a month. Zoe patted Levi Garrison. It was found that his eye sockets were slightly moist. As long as you are wronged here, I will surely calm down. Levi Garrison took a deep breath. Okay, I know you're great. You go back quickly too. Zoe was afraid that if Levi Garrison stayed here too long, it would be dangerous. Levi Garrison left Wushuan City and returned to Jiangbei. Along the way, Levi Garrison saw many supreme-level powerhouses. No one at this level could be seen before. Now it's the same as the big explosion. Messiah is actively looking for the emergence of the supreme-level powerhouse. At present, there are several supreme-level powerhouses who are willing to work for Messiah, but they also pay a huge price accordingly. Chapter 1618. Messiah also discussed with the medical king family about the restoration of Levi Garrison's martial arteries, and the medical king family's help. Arudaya build a supreme powerhouse. Everyone can't avoid interests. As long as the conditions are in place, there are many people who can give you their lives. Even the supreme-level powerhouse. Not only that. New weapons developed in various war zones in Arudaya are slowly being equipped with soldiers. It is said that some new types of weapons and equipment can defeat super-powerful fighters. Ancient martial arts are powerful, and modern technology and weapons are not covered. Regardless of the calm all over the world, there are almost no cases where the supreme-level powerhouses take action. But in fact, he has entered the dark world. Just wait for one point to fully explode. M.BG. How could this group of supreme-level powerhouses allow a group of ordinary people to control the world? They will turn this world into a cruel hell where the strong are respected. In addition, the makers of the covenant of the gods will not care, they are afraid that they want to see the new order of the world. Messiah was aware of this and he actively prepared for the battle. Of course, there are good and bad supreme-level powerhouses. Well-known decent. There are also evil ways. The supreme-level powerhouses who can be invited by the Messiah, most of them have the world in their hearts. But a large part of the evil ways are crooked, they practice some weird magic and martial arts. For example, fresh human blood is needed, babies are needed, and so on. They are cruel and violent. If they are used by others, they will be extremely harmful to Arudaya. If the enemy has an army of hundreds of thousands, the supreme-level powerhouses in it are like clouds, and they are all brutal evil ways. Who can stop this? When they attacked, it was a disaster. What Messiah must prevent most is them. Wushuan City. Brother Zhanghuji mixed up and discussed how to get rid of Lavilia. Brother, please quickly say, don't buy it. Everyone looked at Zhanghuji impatiently. You said, what if the major forces in Arudaya knew about Lavilia's talents? Zhanghuji asked. That's definitely a berserk. There is one thing to say, this kid's talent is better than all of us. If you want other people to know, you will definitely get it crazy. Big brother, do you mean to reveal this information, and then let someone grab it? Someone asked. You are stupid. If everyone comes to grab, it is very likely that Wushuan City will be destroyed. It is not good for us. Lavilia's talents need to be revealed, but at most it can only be revealed to a group of forces. Let them snatch Lavilia directly from Wushuan City. Everyone looked at Zhanghuji. How do you say? It's better to be the crooked way of Wushuan City without a method. Those who get this kid from crooked ways will probably not be able to cultivate them, they will use them to practice weird techniques. In this way, our confidant troubles are removed, and Wushuan City dare not pursue it. After listening, everyone laughed. It's a good way to kill someone with a knife. It seems that the big brother has arranged it. That's natural. I will reveal the message in a while. 2 days later, in the night, Wushuan City suddenly became chaotic. Lavilia was taken away. Lavilia was taken away. The city lord, the 4 great elders and the masters of Wushuan City all came out. Master, save me! A crisp child voice came from the top of the building. Where is a black figure away? Like the devil. This little baby is taught by my black god. He grabbed Lavilia and left quickly. Quickly chase. The masters of Wushuan City began to pursue them. It just can't catch up at all. What? Fu Qiu roared with anger. Chapter 1619. Black God teaches. Fu Kaiyu Feng was very upset. He couldn't be more aware of this evil way. The Black God sect is a major force in the Shifang Mountains of Miaozhong not far from Zishu. They practiced strange magic and martial arts. Everyone in the faction is weird and powerful. Fu Kaiyu Feng fought against the leader of the Black God sect before the Covenant of the Gods. He lost. So the Black God sect captured Lavilia away. He is going to despair. The overall strength of Black God sect is stronger than Wushuan City. If Lavilia is captured by someone else, Fu Kaiyu Feng will take it back anyway. But this is the Black God sect. The Black God sect that gave him a shadow. Be timid before fighting. As soon as he heard the Black God sect, Fu Kaiyu Feng had already retreated. Who sent the message? Didn't I tell everyone to keep it secret? Fu Kaiyu Feng roared angrily. Master, there is no airtight wall in the world. The matter of Lavilia's high talent will be revealed sooner or later. It's just that I don't think it is the Black God sect. This is over, we can't snatch it from the Black God sect anyway. Zhanghuji said next to him. Several of his younger brothers and sisters also showed knowing smiles. Zhanghuji expected Wushuan City to be afraid of the Black God sect, so deliberately revealed the information to the Black God sect. It is to be sure that Fu Kaiyu Feng dare not save people. Fu Kaiyu Feng was very angry. There is no way to refute it. I don't even think about how the information leaked out. For a time, the whole Wushuan City became lifeless. Everyone was silent. Lavilia was captured by the Black God sect, whether it was to become a peerless powerhouse or to use it to practice evil arts. It is a blow to Wushuan City. Fu Kaiyu Feng's heart was bleeding. Lavilia. What happened to Lavilia? Soon after Zoe and Mia learned about this, they rushed over. Please beg the city lord, please beg master to save Lavilia. I'm just such a daughter, Lavilia is going to have an accident, I can't live it. Zoe cried silently. Mia also begged Wushuan City to save people. But everyone in Wushuan City was silent. Including the city lord Fu Kaiyufeng. I beg you. Save Lavilia, she is so talented. Do you have the heart to watch her be taken away by others? Zoe's words hurt everyone's heart. But everyone can't say timid, right? You don't even know what kind of existence the Black God sect is. In the Black God sect, there are 7 supreme-level quadruple heavenly masters and 2 supreme-level 5 heavenly experts, especially they. Leader is said to be about to step into the ranks of the legendary Supreme Grade 6th Heaven. Supreme Grade 6 Heavens. For the supreme-level powerhouse, it is like the existence of heaven. What can Wushuan City save? After Zhang Hejia finished speaking, everyone took a breath. For the supreme-level powerhouse, the 6th heaven is another world. For many years, Fu Kaiyufeng couldn't make it past, and he was stuck in the supreme level 5th heaven. It was a matter of time before the leader of the Black God sect stepped into the supreme 6th heaven, so Fu Kaiyufeng was defeated. Furthermore, Black God teaches everyone to be cruel. Maybe your daughter is dead long ago. It can only be said that your daughter's luck is not good, it is destined to have this catastrophe. Zhang Hejia said several people. Boom. Zoe couldn't bear it and fainted directly. Hey! Fu Kaiyufeng could only sigh. In this case, he can do nothing. Levi Garrison, far in the north of the Yangtze River. Did it die? Suddenly his phone made a harsh alarm sound. No, you have something wrong with Lavilia. Levi Garrison's heart tightened. Chapter 1620. An accident happened just 2 days after he came back. Fortunately, Lavilia has a rescue device on his body. Otherwise he doesn't even know. According to the location where the rescuer was sent back, it was already 300 kilometers away from Wushuan City. Whoever touches my daughter, I let who die. Quickly, quickly, arrive at the fastest speed. Levi Garrison can go to the location of the Black God sect to save Lavilia. Wushuan City. Still lifeless. Everyone didn't even have the courage to save people. Zhang Hejia and they are very happy. Finally got rid of the big troubles. At this time Zoe woke up. I again begged Master and them to save people. You save Lavilia, don't you say Lavilia is the hope for the future. Are you so afraid of the Black God sect? Zoe's words stung Fu Kaiyufeng. Save. We must save. Why not save? Fu Kaiyufeng shouted. How to save? The 4 elders and the others all came together. The Black God sect is stronger than us, we admit it. But for the future of Wushuan City, we are fighting. But Wushuan City will not act alone. I will summon all the supreme powerhouses in Shu, and unite them to deal with the Black God sect. Fu Kaiyufeng said. Okay, this is a good way. Let's go quickly. The method is there, and everyone starts to implement it. Zoe saw hope. Weeping with joy. Sister-in-law, do you want to tell my brother? See if there is any way he can do it. This way the chances are greater. Mia asked. Zoe immediately shook his head. No, no. Don't tell Levi. He is an ordinary person now, what can be done? Arudaya's laws and rules don't apply to these strong people, let him know that not only is it unnecessary to say, but it makes him anxious to get angry. Nan Yan, don't tell your brother about this matter, even if Lavilia is rescued, don't mention it. It's just like it happened. Zoe asked. Mia nodded. Now this situation is really not suitable for Levi Garrison to know. Knowing that it will only be anxious and will not help. The current era is unfair to ordinary people. Soon, Wushuan City fully assembled the 7 forces. Among them, there are several powerhouses of the Supreme Quadruple Heaven. Master Fu, you called us together, what's the matter? Someone asked. Fu Kaiyufeng didn't tell the truth. Tell everyone that you want to unite everyone to destroy the Black God sect. Black God sect? Are you crazy? I dare not. I don't dare. Walk around. What makes everyone think of is that the Black God sect has just been mentioned. Everyone was scared away. In fact, everyone is afraid of the Black God sect. This kind of plague god is too late to hide. Go to take the initiative to destroy it. How can it be? For a while, everyone in Wushuan City was dumbfounded. Fu Kaiyufeng sat there in despair. He didn't think these people were more afraid of the Black God sect than him. Where are Zhonghuja laughing? Black God sect is what you can handle? Master, recognize the reality. After all, we Wushuan City have no relationship with Lavilia, and we can't lose big because of small things. It will be troublesome if Wushuan City is destroyed. Zhonghuja said. Hey! Fu Kaiyufeng sighed. Looking at the appearance, Fu Kaiyufeng gave up. In order to keep Wushuan City safe, Fu Kaiyufeng had to give up. No. You have to save you. Please, give it a try. Zoe roared hysterically. It's just that no one cares about her. The other side. Levi Garrison reached the Black God sect at the fastest speed. Chapter 1621. How fast is Levi Garrison? As soon as the Black God sect master who had captured Lavilia arrived at the Black God sect lair, Levi Garrison arrived on his back foot. Of course, it was also the time for Lavilia's distress signal. When threatened, the first time a distress signal is issued. The Black God sect is eerie and terrifying. The floor is full of skeletons, humans, and animals. The whole area was shrouded in a gloomy atmosphere. The lair of the Black God sect is deep in the mountains, and it looks like hell from a distance. Black God in the lair. Hundreds of people stood. There was a person sitting on it, wearing a black robe, surrounded by black mist. M.BG. A pair of eyes are blue and quiet. He is the leader of the Black God sect. Black God. The supreme level 5 heavens, no, it should be a supreme grade powerhouse close to the 6 heavens. It is also the existence that casts a shadow on Fu Kaiyufeng. Compared with the prosperity of Wushuan City, Black God sect appears very calm. There are about 800 people in total. Although it is a wicked way, the Black God sect's cultivation methods and magic techniques are extremely harsh. Not everyone can practice. There are many who blew themselves up during the cultivation process. But all the elites are left behind. Each is brutal and terrifying. There are 2 supreme level 5th heavenly powers, and there are 17 supreme level 4 heavenly powers. This is unmatched by Wushuan City. It is also the reason why others are afraid. Maybe 100,000 warriors dare not provoke these hundreds of people. After Lavilia was robbed, everyone in the Black God sect gathered. Even the leader He Shen also came. He looked up and down Lavilia carefully, and his mouth made an uncomfortable voice that was hoarse like a blade across the glass. That kid did not lie to me, it really is a unique talent. It is the strongest talent I have ever seen. Everyone began to cheer. Master, what are you going to do? Cultivated with such a high talent, he is definitely an invincible powerhouse. The future can impact the supreme grade 7th heaven. Someone asked. Black God shook his head, no, no, no. First, training is too time consuming. Second, we can't control her after she is strong. The Black God greedily glanced at Lavilia, only being strong is the most important thing. If I dig out her martial veins, and then eat her flesh and blood, I can become a supreme level 6 heaven powerhouse in one fell swoop. It is not impossible to win the supreme 7th heaven. Black God sect began to look forward to it. If the Black God really breaks through to the supreme level 6th heaven, then the Black God sect will really be rampant. Because the supreme grade 6-fold naive is really too rare. Even before the covenant of the gods, there were very few, and they existed in legends. The Black God strokes Yalavilia's head, go to sleep with peace of mind, there is no pain. He wants to practice evil arts through Lavilia to make him stronger. Master, do you think there should be trouble in Wushuan City? This child is a future that Wushuan City has devoted all its resources to nurturing. It's just being eaten by you, isn't it? Some people are worried that Wushuan City will rob people. The Black God snorted coldly, I gave Fu Kaiyufeng 100 courage, and he dare not come. He is defeated. That's true. How many people come from Wushuan City, then we will kill as many people. If Fu Kaiyufeng dares to come, we will kill Fu Kaiyufeng. Don't worry, there is no one to save this child. My promotion to the Supreme 6th Heaven is finalized. Just at the moment when the black mythical voice just fell, a sound like the roar of the thunder god blasted around the Black God sect. Buzzing. Who said no one would come to save? Chapter 1622. With this sound of thunder rolling, let the Black God sect's lair sway around, flying sand and rocks. The 800 church members of the Black God sect were all scared. Boom! Even more frightening was the huge stone gate of the Black God sect that was 10 meters high was smashed with 1 foot. A figure supporting the blue sky appeared. The Black God religion 800 cultists looked stupidly. Is it Fu Kaiyufeng? Did Wushuan City attacked? Everyone thought that the Wushuan City army had arrived. Just watched for a long time, there was only one person. No, it's not Fu Kaiyufeng. When I see this figure clearly, everyone is puzzled. Strange faces. But the hostility in him is overwhelming. It is even more terrifying than all of them. Black God teaches everyone. This man seems to be from hell. Where is my daughter? Levi Garrison walked step by step with a cold face. Every time he took a step, the Black God sect had to tremble. It turned out to be the father of this girl. Killed. Then I will eat your daughter again, and even strip out her martial arts for my use. The Black God made a hoarse voice. Black God gave an order. More than a dozen Black God's masters came to Levi Garrison's side. From the moment you hit my daughter's idea, you all have to die. Kill. Looking at the Black God cultists coming. Levi Garrison moved to kill. Today, he wants to flatten the Black God sect. Puff. 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 When more than a dozen members of the Black God sect were torn to pieces, the audience fell silent. Go. This person is unusual. Everyone found something wrong. Hundreds of people rushed up immediately. Among them, there is no lack of supreme-level powerhouses, and they have also begun to rush to come. Levi Garrison walked step by step. Relying on his double fists, he smashed a powerful person of the supreme level. In an instant, blood was gurgling all over the floor. Broken meat, broken bones are splashing everywhere. Kill, kill, kill! Levi Garrison roared, like death descending, harvesting life. The Black God cult is cruel and ruthless, but Levi Garrison is more cruel and devil than them. Ripped their bodies and blasted their heads. With a breathing exercise, all 600 people taught by the Black God fell to the ground. No one is alive. Kill him! Kill him! Next, the powerhouses of the Supreme Grade Double Heaven and Supreme Grade Triple Heaven began to punish Levi Garrison. But in Levi Garrison's hands, there was no difference between them and the weaker in front. Soon hundreds of people fell to the ground. Most people were broken into pieces by Levi Garrison. On 17 four-day supreme-level powerhouses all came. Everyone has the level of the 4 elders of Wushuan City. 17 people showed off their most powerful killer moves. It was all flattened here. The bombing has been constant. This is absolutely comparable to the scene where hundreds of thousands of soldiers go to war. But Levi Garrison is too strong. Boom. Boom. He definitely blows up someone's body when he shoots. The 4 heavenly supreme powerhouses fell one by one. Boom. With Levi Garrison's punch, one person was beaten into blood mist. The 17 four-day supreme-level powerhouses have all fallen. More than 800 people of the huge Black God sect were killed. There are only 2 people left. The leader and deputy leader. 2 5 heavenly supreme-level powerhouses. The 2 were dumbfounded. With just a few blinks of an eye, did the Black God teach everyone else to die? What's the origin of this person? How can it be so strong? You, who are you? Neither the Black God nor the deputy leader could sit still. I am the father of the child, you shouldn't take her idea. Levi Garrison's voice was cold and gloomy. Chapter 1623. You two must die too. Levi Garrison didn't talk nonsense and directly killed the 2 of them. Sure enough, the powerhouse of the supreme level 5th heaven is strong enough. The 2 leaders of the Black God Church shot together. It can be called earth-shattering. Soon the mountain where the Black God sect was located was battered and flattened. It is an effect that can only be achieved by cruise missiles. These 2 actually did it. This is the terrible thing about the supreme power. However, the 2 men's exercises and spells did not apply to Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison took all this abruptly and unscathed. Boom! With a punch, he smashed the deputy leader into blood mist. Immediately afterwards, he flew the Black God away with a punch. The Black God began to crack apart, with blood stains. Just now Levi Garrison used another force, he definitely wanted to explode. He kowtowed on the ground and begged for mercy, "It's not me, Master, I didn't do it. It's the message revealed by Fu Kaiyufeng's big apprentice Zhang Huji, let me arrest your daughter. Please forgive me. I will listen to you in everything." Levi Garrison didn't even think that Fu Kaiyufeng's great apprentice planned all this. "Okay, I get it. But you have to die too." After speaking, Levi Garrison blasted the Black God with a punch. At this point, the entire Black God sect has been wiped out. The Black God sect, who was full of evil in the martial arts world, was so scared that Shi Fang Dashan did not dare to breathe, and was destroyed by one person. If it spreads out, who will believe it? The most important thing is that the Black God sect leader is close to the existence of the Supreme 6th Heaven. Even this kind of character can be destroyed. Too strong. Just because Levi Garrison's daughter was moved, she was instantly wiped out. Dragons have inverse scales, and they will die if they touch them. Lavilia is Levi Garrison's inverse scale, and also a taboo that the enemy can't touch. The Black God sect was destroyed, but Lavilia was still asleep. Sleep, kid, it's a dream. Levi Garrison picked up Lavilia and left Black God sect step by step. The other side. All the help Wushuan City was looking for ran away because of fear of the Black God sect. Fu Kaiyufeng was also helpless. Zoe was still begging. Even people in Wushuan City told her the address of the Black God sect, and she went to save it herself. By the way, City Lord, there is another way. The 3rd elder suddenly thought of a way. What? Fu Kaiyufeng asked. I beg the old City Lord to come out of the mountain, said the 3 elders. Fu Kaiyufeng's expression immediately changed. You are kidding. The old City Lord has been dead for Decades. You told me to ask him to come out of the mountain. No, isn't it rumored that the old city lord is actually dead, but is practicing a method of nirvana? Rebirth. Said the three elders. Yes, I have also heard that. I feel that the old city lord is dead. Yes, I feel that old city lord is definitely alive. The senior elder and the second elder all said. Fu Kaiyufeng hesitated and sighed, well, you all have heard this secret. Then tell you the truth, the old city lord is indeed dead. He is practicing a technique. I specifically asked me not to disturb him, he will naturally come out when he leaves the customs. This is the greatest secret of Wushuan City. Only Fu Kaiyufeng knew about it. Others just heard it. But at this moment, the city lord still cares about so much? Lavilia is my hope of Wushuan City. Presumably the old city lord does not want the monarch to fall into the hands of the black gods. Let's go and ask the old city lord to come out of the mountain. It is good. Immediately, Fu Kaiyufeng led everyone to the grave buried by the old city lord and begged him to come out of the mountain. Lavilia is back. At this moment, a good message came. Fu Kaiyufeng was overjoyed, old city lord made the shot. He definitely made the shot. Chapter 1624. Yeah, it is definitely the old city lord. Otherwise, who has the ability to save Lavilia from the black god sect? The old city lord made a move at a critical moment. God bless me, Wushuanchange! Everyone shouted. Everyone looked at each other. Everyone was ecstatic. Originally, all of them knelt down and wanted to ask the old city lord to come out of the mountain. Unexpectedly, the old city lord had taken the first step. It turns out that the old city owner knows everything about Wushuan City. They were worried for nothing. It's great that Lavilia is saved, m.bg. Everyone cried with joy. Especially Zoe and Mia. Everyone came to Lavilia's room. Lavilia was sleeping soundly, with a smile on the corners of his mouth, and whispered, Dad! Daddy! Everyone smiled. Zoe hugged Lavilia even more. It's great. Lavilia has nothing to do. Fu Kaiyufeng laughed. Wushuan City was full of joy from top to bottom. The festive atmosphere began to overflow. Report. At this moment, the spies from Wushuan City ran to report the major incident. Something big. The Black God sect was destroyed. More than 800 congregations and leaders and vice-leaders were all killed. The Black God Mountain, where the Black God sect is located, was flattened. Black God sect has completely disappeared from the world. What? After hearing this message, everyone was dumbfounded. It turned out that it wasn't just Lavilia who saved him. Together with the Black God sect was also destroyed. None of the more than 800 people were spared. This is terrible too. What kind of strength is it to destroy the notorious Black God sect? It's the old city lord. Only the old city lord has this ability. Back then, the old city lord was in retreat, and when the death message was falsely reported, he was infinitely close to the supreme sixth heaven. Now that so many years have passed, the old city lord is definitely the supreme sixth heaven. Fu Kaiyufeng shouted excitedly. Yes. Only the supreme level 6th tier genius can destroy the entire Black God sect. Definitely the old city lord. My Wushuan City is about to take off. A strong man of the 6th heaven is sitting in town. How many enemies does Arudaya have? This is unprecedented good news for Wushuan City. Lavilia, the genius was rescued. There is another old town owner in charge. In the future, Wushuan City is definitely going to win Arudaya. But Zhonghuji was completely dumbfounded. They have done so much, aren't they just trying to drive Lavilia away? Why are you back? How is this going? The Black God sect has also been destroyed. Fall short. Several people turned pale. Very ugly. Zoe and Mia were also happy in their hearts. The stronger the Wushuan city, the safer the Lavilia. Good for everyone. Go, come with me to thank the old town master. Fu Kaiyufeng led everyone to the tomb of the old city lord. Everyone fell to their knees and shouted together, "Thank the old city lord for taking action and protecting the future of my Wushuan city." Fu Kaiyufeng even said, "I also hope that the old city lord can come out to meet us and guide us. Everyone misses you." However, there was no response from the forbidden area of the tomb. Everyone knelt before the grave for half an hour. There is still no reaction. What they did not expect in any case was that the old city lord who destroyed the Black God sect in their mouth was lying in the tomb at this moment. He has long since become a corpse. Dead and transparent. When he failed in martial arts training, he had already died tragically. So you shouted for a long time without any response. Even if you kneel for 10.5 days, the old city lord will not crawl out. Chapter 1625. Let's leave. It must be the old city lord who needs to be quiet. Now we only need the old city lord to be alive and the cultivation base of the supreme grade 6th heaven. Fu Kaiyufeng laughed. Full of confidence in the future development of Wushuan city. Zhang Hui's hearts were ashamed of death. This time is completely over. The status of Lavilia cannot be shaken. Even the old city lord has to protect it. Lavilia soon woke up. Everyone, including Fu Kaiyufeng, surrounded the past. This is the treasure of Wushuan city. Mom, where's Dad? The little girl looked around, and the first person to find was Dad. Your father is at home. Not here. Zoe touched her little head. Lavilia shook his head. No, Dad is here. I saw Dad before, and Dad rescued me. Although Lavilia was in a daze. But she knew in a daze that it was her father who had rescued her. She also sent a distress signal to her father before. Ha 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 ha. As soon as Lavilia said this, everyone laughed. This silly boy. When something happens, I think of her father. Zoe smiled awkwardly. Nothing, after all, the father is very tall in the child's mind. Fu Kaiyufeng looked at Lavilia and smiled and said, Lavilia, Master tells you that it was not your father who saved you, but the old city lord, that is, the Master's master who rescued you. Impossible. Dad rescued me. I know. Lavilia shouted. Lavilia, have you seen your father? Have you been sleeping all the time? Fu Kaiyufeng asked continuously. Lavilia pursed his lips and shook his head. She only felt that it was Levi Garrison. But I have not seen it with my own eyes. So, Lavilia, don't talk nonsense, it was the old city lord who saved you. What's more, your father is an ordinary person, how can he save people from the Black God sect? What's more, the Black God sect has been completely destroyed. How can an ordinary person do it? After Fu Kaiyufeng instilled ideas for Lavilia, Lavilia can only listen to them. But the clever Lavilia still maintains his opinion. It was Dad who saved her. In the dark, Levi Garrison looked at everything. In particular, I watched Zhang Huji a few more times. Let a few people feel chilly. A little scalp tingling. Lavilia was rescued. Zoe is the happiest. Nan Yan, don't you tell your brother about this, right? Mia shook his head. Look, Lavilia is saved now? There is no need to tell your brother, it will only cause trouble. The next day, Fu Kaiyufeng called everyone together. He wanted to find out who leaked Lavilia's talent. He made this matter strictly confidential. Secretly cultivates the king. The Black God sect actually knew. That means someone must have leaked the secret. He must find this person out. If you admit it now, I will be punished lightly. If you let me find out, it will be a big trouble. Fu Kaiyufeng directed at all people in Wushuan City. All of Zhonghuji was terrified. Of course they dare not admit it at all. After standing for a long time, no one admits it. Master, I think it was revealed by the Zishu clan and the Li Zhao family. Yes, they are the most likely. Zhonghuji succeeded in diverting attention. Fu Kaiyufeng immediately led everyone to Jiangbei. He wants to find out who the spy who revealed the information is. Bring everyone together. Fu Kaiyufeng began to speak. At this time, Levi Garrison stood up. The spies are your apprentices. Chapter 1626. The language is not surprising and endless. Levi Garrison said this. Thunder billowed. The entire square was silent. Everyone looked at the apprentices beside Fu Kaiyufeng subconsciously. No one thought of this. Zhonghuji and the others were in a good mood. Successfully shifted my attention to this group. But Levi Garrison pointed out them directly. Several people were dumbfounded. They were all trembling subconsciously. What did you say? Even Fu Kaiyufeng was dumbfounded. My apprentice is a spy? How can it be? Of course Fu Kaiyufeng didn't believe that he was his apprentice. These 4 apprentices usually obey him. The equivalent of a good student in a school, how could it be a spy? Yes, you are spitting blood. How could we be spies? We are Master's most beloved disciples, and the hope of Wushuan City. In the future, we will not do things like shooting ourselves in the foot. Zhonghuji's analysis is right. Everyone also thinks it makes sense. Even Zoe and Mia are very strange. Why did Levi Garrison point to Zhonghuji? Levi Garrison smiled. The reason is very simple. Because of Lavilia's arrival, your position has plummeted. Originally Wushuan City spoiled you, but now all this belongs to Lavilia. You are jealous of Lavilia and want to get rid of her. This only revealed the information. Hearing that, Zhonghuji and the others were terrified. Levi Garrison is too scary. Analyze the main points all at once. Get a clear picture of their practices and ideas. After listening to Levi Garrison's analysis, everyone just felt terrified to think carefully. It seems so. When Lavilia arrives, these people have suffered the most. Even Fu Kaiyufeng and the 4 elders felt that what they said made sense. Master. In justice, we can learn from the world of loyalty to Wushuan City. What's more, we are very good to Lavilia and junior sisters, you are all in your eyes. Zhonghuji immediately knelt on the ground and began to defend. Yes, it's wrong. Since Lavilia started, they have been caring for Lavilia and behaved like brothers and sisters everywhere. I can't imagine them starting with Lavilia. Fu Kaiyufeng told a fact. Everyone nodded loudly. Indeed so. Secretly, how many people don't know. But on the surface, they are really good to Lavilia. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't look like you would treat Fu Lavilia. Even Zoe and Mia said, Levi, are you wrong? Several of them are very good to Lavilia. Some people say bad things about us and Lavilia, and they all go to educate others. Yes, how can people from Wushuan City deal with Wushuan City? Are they so jealous? They are already supreme powerhouses, don't they need to be jealous of a child? Everyone present began to defend Zhonghuji. While several people breathed a sigh of relief, Zhonghuji suddenly said, isn't it the information you leaked out yourself? He suddenly pointed the finger at Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison smiled, am I stupid? Deal with my daughter. You are not stupid, you are rather smart. From the very beginning, you looked down upon Wushuan City and felt that Wushuan City was not worthy of nurturing your daughter. Is this true? Zhang Huji asked. Yes, it's wrong. Levi Garrison admitted to this point. So you want to find more powerful characters to train your daughter. It is not difficult to find the Black God sect in your previous identity. You want to send your daughter to the Black God sect to train, and you have created such a scene. Zhang Huji said it was right. Chapter 1627. But Zhang Huji's analysis makes sense. Levi Garrison would really do this for a better choice. You are talking nonsense. No matter what happens to Levi, he won't push his daughter into the fire pit, right? Zoe asked back. Not always. Suddenly a voice sounded. Not Zhang Huji, but Fu Kaiyufeng. Fu Kaiyufeng walked quickly towards Levi Garrison, and he exclaimed, he has the breath of the Black God sect on him. What? The words came out. The expressions of everyone in the room changed drastically. Fu Kaiyufeng had a lot of dealings with the Black God sect and was familiar with everything about the Black God sect. This breath can't be wrong. It's the Black God sect. He is 100% sure. The four great elders and other high levels in Wushuan City all rushed over. They looked at Levi Garrison carefully. Yes, that's wrong, he has the breath of Black God sect remaining on him, I'm sure. Wrong. He has definitely been to Black God sect. Everyone must have been to Black God sect. The remaining breath can't deceive people. Everyone present was dumbfounded. Is it really Levi Garrison? Zhang Huji was pleasantly surprised by the four. He just had nothing to do, and quickly poured dirty water on Levi Garrison. Who knew that Levi Garrison had actually been to Black God sect? He really got it right. What I really want to come. Levi Garrison, do you dare to admit in public that you have been to Black God sect? Fu Kaiyufeng asked coldly. Zoe dyed his face in disbelief, and asked tremblingly, Levi, have you really been to Black God sect? I have been to Black God sect. Levi Garrison admitted. Wow! The audience was in an uproar. Didn't think it was really Levi Garrison. Now the truth is clear, he himself admits that he has been to the Black God sect. Lavilia's affairs are all planned by him. Zhang Huji said with a smile. The other three were also overjoyed. Their suspicions are completely extinguished. Zoe's face changed drastically, staring at Levi Garrison disappointedly, and shouted wildly, do you know what you are doing? You almost killed Lavilia. The Black God sect is the fire pit, and you are pushing your daughter into the fire pit. What? The plum is out of anger. She really thought it was Levi Garrison who colluded with the Black God sect to snatch Lavilia away. Brother, how can you do that? The Black God sect is a wicked way. They will not cultivate the monarch, but will use the monarch to cultivate. Mia was also angry. Fool! Do you really think that the Black God Church will help you train your daughter? Their evil ways will only be considered for yourself. Regardless of his life and death, if you send your daughter to death, it is like sending you to death. They are just ordinary people, their vision is too narrow. Everyone began to criticize Levi Garrison. He is like a fool. Okay, now the case is closed. It is his father who revealed the information of Lavilia's talent. If it's someone else, I'll definitely kill it, but this is Lavilia's father. I will let him go. If there is any next time, I will deal with it seriously. Fu Kaiyufeng summed up the matter. The conclusion is over. Levi Garrison, we are really disappointed in you. If it weren't for the old city lord's action, Lavilia might no longer be in the world. You almost killed Lavilia. Zoe cried silently. If others can understand. But it was about Lavilia's safety, she couldn't help it. Angry towards Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison bit his lip helplessly. He smiled and said, "Why don't you ask me what I am doing? What are you doing?" "Of course I go to the Black God sect to save you." Chapter 1628. Levi Garrison said this. The audience was in an uproar again. Everyone looked at Levi Garrison and said angrily, "Aren't you going to harm Lavilia? Are you still saving Lavilia? No one will believe it. It was I who went to the Black God sect alone and killed everyone in the Black God sect, including the master and vice leaders, and then saved the monarch. And it was the Black God sect leader who told me that the spies were your apprentices." Levi Garrison said seriously. "It's just that these words are too pale. There is no convincing power." Fart. Lavilia was obviously rescued by the old city lord. He has something to do with you. Are you still destroying the entire Black God sect? You are an ordinary person, don't you dare to think that way in your dreams. Only the old city master of the supreme grade 6th heaven can destroy the Black God sect. You are an ordinary person who speaks big words, and you are not afraid that the wind will flash your tongue. No one would believe that an ordinary person could teach the powerful black dragon to annihilate. It's impossible. Well, in the end, the old city lord came out. Lavilia has nothing to do, this is the case. He is Lavilia's father, we can't do anything. Withdraw all, that's it. Fu Kaiyufeng said. Everyone will not continue to investigate. Levi Garrison, you will tell a lie in the future, hoping to make up a bit more like it. Zoe was disappointed with Levi Garrison. He almost killed Lavilia without telling him, and even made up a lie that resembled a fairy tale. Things come to an end. Nothing is more exciting than Zhang Huji. Perfectly avoiding the suspicion, he also convicted Levi Garrison. Hey, what a surprise! But this dead girl is back, and our status is still threatened. We have to think of another way. Zhang Huji touched his chin and thought. Yes, even the old city lord is protecting her, and he has the final say in the future Wushuan city. The rest of the people also looked sad. At this moment, a person appeared in front of them. Levi Garrison. You, when did you come? Zhang Huji was so frightened that he swallowed fiercely. Why is Levi Garrison silent? Just when he was about to talk about how to deal with his daughter, he appeared. This is too scary. You have taken care of my daughter. I will give you 1 week to admit and apologize. Levi Garrison directly expressed his intention. Are you sick? Let us admit what? Who do you apologize to? Zhang Huji asked. You know it in your heart. Remember, people can make mistakes. You are young and can understand. But you must know your mistakes and you can correct them. If you don't admit your mistakes, you will face a dead end. Zhang Huji looked at each other, and they were all amused. What does this madman say? Your daughter's affairs have nothing to do with us. Hurry up and get away. Levi Garrison glanced at a few people. Anyway, I have already brought the words. If you don't admit it within a week, you will be at your own risk. Leaving this sentence, Levi Garrison left. At your own risk? Okay, let's wait, but I want to see what consequences you can give us in a week. Several people sneered. However, when Zhang Huji was angry, several people were a little confused. Why is Levi Garrison sure to be them? This is definitely not groundless. Does Levi Garrison really know something? Could it be true that Levi Garrison saved Lavilia and destroyed the Black God sect? Someone wondered. How is it possible? Then obviously it was the old city lord who made the shot, okay. Chapter 1629. It is estimated that he can analyze it. After all, only a few of us have the motivation to deal with his daughter. Zhang Huji thinks this analysis is the most reliable. I feel so too. What about the big brother for a week? Someone asked. What are you doing in this matter? Can he hurt us as an ordinary person? No one will take this matter to heart. The destruction of the Black God sect has not only caused an uproar in Wushuan City. In Erudaya, even the whole world caused a sensation. Since the covenant of the gods was torn up, these superpowers are very quiet. Not to mention big movements, even small frictions. But this time the Black God sect was directly annihilated, which was really a big move. First of all, Black God sect is very strong. It is definitely in the forefront of the major forces in Erudaya. In particular, the leader is a powerhouse of the supreme level 5 heavens, which is extremely rare in the world. Secondly, the Black God sect was immediately destroyed, and no one survived. The movement is really too big. Especially Messiah's upper and lower nerves were tight. They didn't even know anything about what happened in Erudaya. If it were the enemy, it would be completely over. They need to speed up. Cooperation with the family of medical kings has also been reached. Messiah released generous conditions, including power, money, and even land, etc. As long as it is what the medical king family wants, they are all satisfied. It also provides extremely valuable medicinal materials and other resources to the family of medical kings. The medical king family only agreed to help Erudaya build 5 supreme powerhouses. In addition, help Levi Garrison repair the martial arteries. Of course, the family of medical kings was not sure about repairing the martial arteries, but just wanted to delay it and get the benefits. Sure enough, under the magical medicine, ancient medical techniques and techniques of the medical king family, he helped Erudaya create 5 supreme powerhouses. In addition, with the help of the 6 Xiao Feng, they have also become supreme level powerhouses. There are still many people who have reached the pseudo-supreme level powerhouse, or are close to them. This time Erudaya's strength has been greatly enhanced. Erudaya specially designated the medical king family as the country's medical king. The status of the family of medical kings has risen rapidly. Under the leadership of Messiah, Master Wang Xing specially came to Levi Garrison to help him repair his martial arteries. For Messiah's face, you don't have to kowtow to beg me. I heard that this group of people wanted to help him repair his martial arteries. Levi Garrison was stunned. If you let them repair it, if you show your strength in the future, maybe they would say shamelessly that they repaired their martial arteries. I do not need. I don't take your magic medicine, and I don't stick your magic needle. There is nothing wrong with being an ordinary person. Levi Garrison approached. You presumptuous. Master Wang Xing was so angry. In Levi, you can save face and let the master cure you. What if it works? You are an ordinary person now, in case of danger in the summer or your family in danger, you can only watch. Everyone persuaded. Levi Garrison smiled, don't worry, my family will not be in danger. I forgot, your daughter is now accepted as an apprentice by Wushuan City, and the old city lord of Wushuan City Supreme Sixth Heaven is protecting her. Even your wife, Miss Li, has been accepted as apprentices by the elders of Wushuan City. Of course they are in danger. But your former generation of kings can watch your daughter and wife a little bit stronger, but have you always been an ordinary person? Do you want to eat soft rice from your daughter and wife? Chapter 1630. Everyone looked at him with contempt and mocking eyes. Levi Garrison smiled, there is nothing wrong with eating soft rice. If you have such a wife and daughter, you can also eat soft rice. Puff. Everyone is vomiting blood. It's the first time I saw someone talk about eating soft rice so comfortably. I thank you for your kindness. I don't want to fight and kill, you can find someone else. Levi Garrison approached. I really can't see the situation. Let's go. A group of Messiah left in a hurry. M.Bg. Levi Garrison doesn't blame them. Messiah is also good for Arudaya. Enhance Arudaya's protective power. After all, now is the critical period. Internal and external troubles broke out on the day that the security was not in order. Levi Garrison only wants his wife, children, and mother to be safe. At the moment, somewhere overseas, a group of people gathered together. Things are being discussed. As everyone knows, Arudaya has the best resources in the world. For both ordinary people and warriors, Arudaya is the first choice. Especially to our supreme-level powerhouses, Arudaya is a beautiful woman who is charming and greedy. I don't want to eat it all the time. That's not true. The cultivation resources that Arudaya possesses are unimaginable elsewhere. Especially Arudaya possesses countless ancient ruins, natural treasures, rare and exotic animals, and even some martial artifacts, swords, etc. from the gods. Before the appointment, we were greedy, but it's hard to get a bite. The Arudaya people don't take the initiative to provoke things, but they are tenacious. Whoever touches their things, they beat them. One of them was wearing a long windbreaker and sunglasses. He smiled and said, "Okay, I know what you mean. If you give you a chance to go in and out freely in Arudaya, do you want it?" "Yes. Of course I do." These supreme-level powerhouses nodded busy. Of course they did. "I have a way." The man in the trench coat smiled. "Any solution?" everyone asked. "It's very simple, capture and defeat Arudaya, and then divide it up. As long as Arudaya is ours, what do you want to do then?" The man in the windbreaker said a way that shocked everyone present. "What? Capture? Capture Arudaya? Turn Arudaya into ours?" Everyone couldn't help but shudder. "No way, Arudaya is too strong." Throughout the ages, there have been many provocative attacks on Arudaya. How much cheaper can you get? Yes, Arudaya is too tenacious, even saying that it is invincible. It can be seen that these supreme-level powerhouses are afraid of Arudaya. If we gather many supreme-level powerhouses, and then be supported by major powers and forces. How about forming an unprecedented coalition army? Windbreaker Manly. Hey? You want to gather the power of the whole world to attack Arudaya? Everyone's eyes are flying out. The whole world? It's not so exaggerated. It's just a gathering of forces and strong people who are willing to carve up Arudaya. I think Arudaya has a lot of enemies, and they are willing to unite too much. That's true, there are not a few people who hate Arudaya. If all these forces gather, attack Arudaya is perfectly fine." The man in the windbreaker said, "It's true that I'm convening the Alliance Army to attack Arudaya. During this period of time." Soon after, the Alliance Army was established and attacked Arudaya in one fell swoop to divide up everything. Chapter 1631. No wonder this time is so quiet. I was curious, the covenant of the gods broke, and this group of guys can stand it. It turned out to be man-made. A question in everyone's mind was resolved. The man in the windbreaker nodded, "Yes, it was wrong, we arranged it. I contacted the major experts in the first time and told them to stand still. Just wait for the establishment of the Alliance Army. Arudaya is also very alert. It is said that he is actively preparing for war. But they can think, are we the military Alliance Army? Can they stop it? Ha ha ha. I am willing to join the Alliance Army. I am willing to." Everyone laughed. Everyone joins the Alliance Army. Everyone is already looking forward to the scene of dividing up Arudaya. M.Bg. In their opinion, Arudaya will lose. Arudaya is against the whole world. Enemies in the world, how to fight. Scenes like the Windbreaker Man wooing the supreme powerhouse to join the Alliance army have been staged all over the world. They really gather the strongest from all over the world to the greatest extent to deal with Arudaya. The Alliance army is being established. Arudaya's crisis came quietly. The most important thing in the summer is internal and external troubles. Not to mention the external troubles, the internal troubles are Arudaya's supreme powerhouses, and no one belongs to Messiah. Unlike ordinary people, they don't have a sense of belonging to the country. In their eyes, they only live on the land of Arudaya, but they do not belong to Arudaya. They have absolute freedom. Never obey Messiah. Even some supreme-level powerhouses have various other ideas, threatening Arudaya at any time. Their way of cooperating with the supreme-level powerhouses is, at most, cooperating with the family of medical kings. The cooperation that came at a huge price. So Arudaya will be very difficult. Fortunately, Messiah was actively preparing. It will take some time for the Alliance army to be established, which also gave Messiah enough time to prepare. However, Messiah still didn't expect the supreme powerhouses of the world to be so quiet. It turned out to be a big surprise for Arudaya. Levi Garrison stayed idle at home, continuing to practice what his mentor taught him. He still has a long way to go. He can also become stronger. Soon, 7 days were up. Levi Garrison went straight to Wushuan City. After seeing Zoe and Mia, they were very curious. Why are you here? Nothing, I'll find Zhonghuji them. Levi Garrison went directly to Zhonghuji. Are you crazy? Zoe understood Levi Garrison's character and knew that he was coming to make trouble. But after all, Levi Garrison took a step forward and found several Zhonghuji. Several people stopped what they were doing and looked over. Remember what I told you? Levi Garrison asked. What? Of course we don't remember. Zhonghuji smiled. They had indeed forgotten it a long time ago. He didn't even take Levi Garrison's warning as the same thing. I said, I will give you 1 week to admit your mistakes and make corrections. Now the deadline is up. Levi Garrison reminded. Zhonghuji patted his forehead and laughed. Yes, yes, remember, if we don't admit our mistakes, we seem to be at our own risk, right? Ha ha ha. Several people looked at Levi Garrison, smiling and provocatively said, what kind of consequences are they? We want to see. You come with me and you will know. Levi Garrison turned around and left. Ha ha ha, well, just to my liking. Several people immediately followed. To be in Wushuan City, they dare not do anything. But leaving Wushuan City, they had nothing to do with Levi Garrison. Chapter 1632. Originally, they were still trying to find a reason to lead Levi Garrison to a remote place and teach him a lesson. The result was delivered by myself. Crazy smiles appeared on the faces of several people. There is such a fool in this world. Zoe and Mia came, trying to dissuade them. This is a matter between us, don't intervene. Furthermore, he is looking for us and provoking us. Zhonghuji glared at Zoe. How should this be good? Shall we go to the city lord? Zoe chopped his feet, anxious. Don't worry, it's nothing. No matter what Levi Garrison says, it's Lavilia's father. Zhonghuji and the others are well measured, and they don't dare to take Levi Garrison. Someone advised. Mia nodded, that's right, even the city lord can't do anything about each other, let alone these few people. Sister-in-law, you should not interfere, it is easy to make things worse. Next to it was, yes, right, not to mention that this is Levi Garrison's unreasonable coaxing. Obviously he leaked information to the Black God sect, it must be a few of them. I think it would be good to give a lesson. Zoe bit his lip and said angrily, Levi Garrison, you have never listened to me. This matter is over. Long ago, you have to entangle and bear the consequences. Knowing that Levi Garrison was taught a lesson at most, Zoe was relieved. In her opinion, this matter should teach Levi Garrison a lesson. Who told Levi Garrison to be so stubborn? Levi Garrison took Zhang Huja to the deep mountains near Li Wushuan City. It is near the Wushuan City Forbidden Land, which is the cemetery where the old city lord and others are buried. Zhang Huja looked at the environment and said with a smile, Levi Garrison is remote enough, and you probably won't be able to find it if you die. Ha 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 ha. Several others smiled. They are already discussing how to deal with Levi Garrison. Killed? Or beat him crippled? When they are outside, they can do whatever they want. No matter what the result is, the city lord knows, and at most scold them a few words, there will be no substantive punishment. After all, the important thing is Lavilia, not Levi Garrison. Maybe the city lord and the others also hate Levi Garrison, and they want to get rid of it because of Lavilia's face. Several people turned their heads and stared at Levi Garrison as if they were looking at their prey. I will give you another chance, as long as I admit my mistake and apologize, I will spare you. Levi Garrison turned around and looked at a few people. Everyone looked at each other. It's like hearing a joke. Levi Garrison himself still doesn't understand the current situation. The danger is yourself, instead of us. Then they all smiled and said, didn't you say that you are at your own risk? We want to see what the consequences are. Everyone looked at Levi Garrison like a fool. They really can't imagine what consequences an ordinary person can bring to them. What's more, the four of them are all supreme powers. Zhang Huja is already the supreme power of the triple heaven. What did Levi Garrison teach him? Okay, you asked for this. Levi Garrison gave opportunities again and again. They don't cherish. Come on, are you going to hit me? Come on, fight here. Yu Dihao, the fourth apprentice of Fu Kai Feng, also deliberately moved his face. He is a supreme powerhouse, his body is as hard as steel, and bullets can't penetrate it. Ordinary people will only hurt themselves with a punch. Boom! But, in the next second, a blast sounded. An overwhelming force that overturned Mount Tai came across. Boom! Yu Dihao suffered a heavy blow and was beaten out. The whole audience was dead. Chapter 1633. Boom! After landing, Yu Dihao hit a deep hole directly. The power spread out, smashing all the thick trees around. Dumbfounded. Completely dumbfounded. Zhang Huja was completely stunned. Can one punch the supreme level powerhouse like this? This. He is not an ordinary person at all. Zhang Huja just wanted to remind. Levi Garrison took a sudden step and stepped tens of meters to appear in front of him. Boom! A punch came, and the black was quickly enlarged and enveloped on the retina. Zhang Huja didn't even have a chance to react. Puff! His face was smashed by the punch. A jet of blood in the mouth. Boom! 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 Next, Levi Garrison's fist head hit Zhang Huja at the rate of a machine gun. Zhang Huja's body was smashed and deformed. But the strength of his supreme grade triple heaven was unable to display at all. He was crushed and beaten by an ordinary person. Puff! Levi Garrison stopped when Zhang Hao was dying. Boom boom! He greeted the two people with his fists. The two supreme level powerhouses couldn't do anything, so they could only watch Levi Garrison beating them. Crush! The outstanding person among the younger generation of Wushuan City was hammered on the ground by Levi Garrison. There is nothing to fight back. You are the sixth supreme level, the sixth heaven. Zhang Huja's mouth trembled, and he stammered. The eyes he looked at Levi Garrison were full of fear. Judging from Levi Garrison's momentum and strength just now, it far surpassed their master Fu Caiyufeng. Then Levi Garrison must be a powerhouse of the supreme grade 6th heaven. At least in his judgment, Levi Garrison was at this level. In fact, Levi Garrison himself didn't know how strong he was, but he abused the powerhouse of the supreme 6th heaven. What? Supreme grade 6th heaven? The other three were so scared that they almost urinated. This is too scary. Wrong. Suddenly Zhang Hui's eyes flickered, and his eyes were about to fly out. Lavilia was saved by Levi Garrison. He destroyed the Black God sect. It turns out that everything he said is true. How else would he know that they had leaked the secret? Now it seems that he learned from the head of the Black God sect. What should the old town owner? No one ever showed up. How could it be possible to save people? The truth is revealed. It turned out that he had stepped down on the Black God sect. No wonder he said before that Wushuan City is qualified to guide his daughter. It turned out to be really qualified. He also said that his daughter was wronged, so he smashed Wushuan City. Everyone thought it was a joke. I didn't expect it to be true. If he wants to, he can level Wushuan City at any time. Puff. Puff. Thinking of this, everyone vomits blood even worse. What kind of existence did they offend? The most important thing is he was not bound by God's covenant before. I will not kill you today, but you have to roll over and tell everyone the truth. Otherwise, I will really kill people. The Black God sect is an example. Levi Garrison said so. Why don't you agree? The four immediately rolled back to Wushuan City. Back. Look, they are back. Someone shouted. The anxious Zoe immediately leaned over. What? This? When seeing the four people covered in blood and embarrassed appearance, everyone was dumbfounded. Chapter 1634. What happened? How did they get beaten? The eyes of everyone present were incredible. It stands to reason that Levi Garrison was beaten. It's him no matter what. But on the contrary, it was Zhang Hui who was injured. It's too confusing. What happened? What happened? Where is Levi Garrison, M.BG? Zoe asked immediately. Either Levi Garrison had an accident. Either Levi Garrison is not an ordinary person. Thinking that Levi Garrison was not an ordinary person, he could beat these people violently. Zoe's face changed drastically. Zhang Hui ignored them and went directly to Fu Caiyufeng. Soon, Fu Caiyufeng gathered everyone in Wushuan City on a square. It was Zhang Hui who asked him to do this. Fu Caiyufeng was also very puzzled. What are they going to do? Go ahead, what's wrong with you? Fu Caiyufeng looked puzzled. Puff. All four Zhang Hui suddenly fell to the ground. Zhang Hui cried and said, Master, we were wrong. In fact, we have something to hide from you. And Wushuan City? Everyone was surprised and in an uproar. What? What happened to you? Fu Caiyufeng asked. Master, in fact, Lavilia's father said it was wrong. We revealed Lavilia's message, and I specifically told the Black God sect leader. Zhang Hui admitted everything in public. Boom. Everyone present was struck by lightning, and their eyes were full of disbelief. So what Levi Garrison said is true. Everyone blamed them. Especially Zoe and Mia, their bodies trembling. Lavilia's father is wrong, we are jealous of Lavilia. Zhang Hui and several people said all the true thoughts in their hearts. What? You disappointed me so much, you almost ruined the future of Wushuan City. Fu Qiufeng waved his hand with anger, and a terrible aura swept out. Puff. Several Zhang Hui were beaten out. You four have tortured the same door, I can't help but punish. Capital sins are forgiven, but living sins are inevitable. First you will be punished to be tortured in the precepts hall, and then you will be retired for 10 years in the back mountain without taking a step. Fu Kaiyu Feng said angrily. Thank you master for not killing. Zhang Huji immediately kowtow. From now on you don't call me a master anymore. This is the end of my relationship with your masters and apprentices. I declare that I, Fu Kaiyu Feng, will only have Lavilia an apprentice from now on. Just when Zhang Huji and the others were about to be taken away, the voice of the great elder sounded. Wait. The elder walked up to a few people and asked, something is wrong. You didn't admit it before. And you spilled dirty water on Levi Garrison. Why did you suddenly admit it today? Yet, I heard that you just went out with Levi Garrison. When you came back, your noses and faces were swollen and you confessed to this. Let's talk about it. What's the matter? The 3 elders also said. When the 2 elders said these words, everyone looked over. In fact, everyone is also very confused. Especially Zoe and Mia. They all wanted to know what happened just now when they went out with Levi Garrison. Why did Zhang Huja make such a change? This. Zhang Huja looked embarrassed and seemed unwilling to recall the scene just now. Say. Tell the truth. What happened after I left with Levi Garrison? Fu Kaiyu Feng roared. We. Zhang Huja pursed his lips. Zoe stared at them tightly, breathing fast. Chapter 1635. City Lord, it's not good. The place they went just now was near the tomb of Old City Lord. It seems that the Old City Lord made a shot, and the surroundings have been raised. At this moment, the guard guarding the forbidden area ran over and shouted. It depicts a terrible battle scene. That was clearly left by the supreme grade 6th heavenly powerhouse. Fu Kaiyu Feng frowned. Are you going near the tomb of the Old City Lord? Zhang Huja nodded. Presumptuous. The forbidden area of the Old City Lord is also a place you can go. Fu Kaiyu Feng shouted loudly. I understand, it must be the Old City Lord who beat them like this, and it was the Old City Lord who asked them to take the initiative to admit their mistakes. The Great Elder said suddenly. Everyone feels so. After all, Levi Garrison is an ordinary person. How could it be possible to beat Zhang Huji of the Supreme Grade Triple Heaven like this? They definitely wanted to teach Levi Garrison. The Old City Lord had taken action. Then I have a question. Why is Levi Garrison sure that they leaked the information? How did he know? Someone asked questions. It's not easy. What did Levi Garrison do before? Even though his strength is not there, the intelligence is much better than we thought. It is estimated that after he knew that Lavilia was captured, he went to the Black God sect. The breath of the gods. Fu Kaiyu Feng explained. Yes, that's wrong, Lavilia does have a tracker on him, my husband made it. Zoe nodded. Understood, understood. This Levi Garrison is no ordinary person, but he wants to thank the Old City Lord. Oh, yes. In the end, Zhang Huja got the punishment they deserved. Wushuan City is completely calm. But everywhere in the world is not peaceful at all. Secretly, the Union Army recruited troops. Not only that, they search all kinds of resources around the world. All resources that can enhance combat effectiveness are in their goals. Especially some powerful weapons, they have been coveted for a long time. Somewhere in the manner of the War Eagle country. Jefferson, are you really going to Arudaya? Several people looked at a silver-haired man and asked. What is surprising is that the silver-haired man is all made of machinery. Robotic arms, robotic legs, and even winged aircraft. The key is not to cover a layer of machinery, but to fuse flesh and blood and machinery. Even his heart and many organs are mechanical. He is just like a person, neither a ghost nor a ghost. But this makes him super powerful. The silver-haired man's cold face was full of excitement. He smiled and said, I found out there is a meteorite iron in the Erudaya Jiangbei Museum, which is the most suitable for upgrading my body. If I get it, my strength will increase at least twice. But the owner deliberately instructed not to harass Erudaya now, so as not to startle the snake. What's more, you are going to steal something, and it was discovered. It's very dangerous. Someone nearby persuaded. Jefferson said angrily, Bah! What is stealing? Should I get something? Erudaya will be ours sooner or later. I just took my things in advance, how can I be called stealing? That's true. Erudaya was soon divided up. At that time Erudaya's land, money, resources, and women belonged to us. We do what we want. He he he. Several people laughed. Soon, Jefferson set off for Erudaya. Soon after, a man came to the manor. It was the man in the trench coat who formed the alliance. Army. What? My brother went to Erudaya. Chapter 1636. It turns out that the robot Jefferson is the younger brother of the man in the windbreaker. Who told him to go? Let him come back quickly. It's dangerous, shouted the man in the trench coat. Master, Mr. Jefferson has been away for a long time, and no one dares to stop the things he decides. Several people knelt on the ground and shivered. The man in the windbreaker sighed and said, Hu Hong, it's just nonsense. He went to Erudaya, not to mention that it might be dangerous. Then what does the master do now? He should have arrived in Erudaya. Should we send a master to pick him up? The man in the windbreaker immediately shook his head, no. Once we have a big action, Erudaya will definitely be vigilant, and our alliance armies plan will fall to nowhere. I can only pray that he will come back safely. It's okay if you get caught. Then, in the name of War Eagle Nation, you can put pressure on Erudaya to send it back. Understood. Let's contact the senior officials of the War Eagle Nation. On the other side, Levi Garrison returned to Jiangbei from Wushuan City. On the outskirts of Jiangbei, he happened to run into Jefferson, who had just come to Erudaya. Gentile? Supreme Powerhouse. A smile appeared at the corner of Levi Garrison's mouth. Sneaky. There is absolutely no good thing. After returning home, Levi Garrison immediately contacted Xiao Feng and others. Come to Jiangbei quickly and stare at someone. After Levi Garrison gave the order, Xiao Feng brought several people to Jiangbei and stared at Jefferson. In the evening, Jefferson swaggered to Jiangbei Museum. He glanced around and said with a smile, Soon, it's all ours here. Erudaya is going to fall, and both women and men will become our slaves. While talking and laughing, Jefferson entered the museum. In a cabinet of a booth, there was a huge meteorite iron. This is 13 years ago, the meteorite fell to Jiangbei. Later, it was discovered that this outer meteorite iron was very valuable and huge. So put it in the museum. Jefferson's mechanical arm made a sound, fists clenched. Boom! The bulletproof glass cabinet was blasted open by him with a punch. You must know that this is specially reinforced bulletproof glass, even the artillery cannot be broken. He punched. Did it die? His punch triggered the siren, and the sirens rang loudly. But Jefferson picked up the meteorite iron and left without hurriedly. What if the alarm is triggered? Can these ants stop him? What surprised Jefferson was that there was no one to stop him. The entire museum is empty. A bunch of rubbish. It really deserves its reputation. Born to be a slave. Jefferson said angrily when someone came to stop him. When he came to the door holding the meteorite iron from the outer world, he was stunned. Because of the door, Xiao Feng and several people were waiting. Good, you thief, dare to come to Arudaya to steal things? Xiao Feng scolded. Ho ho! Steal things? Can I take them? Arudaya will be ours soon. These things are ours. Even your mother, wife, and daughter are ours. You men can only be slaves and grab food from a group of wild dogs. Jefferson laughed loudly, not paying attention to everyone. After Xiao Feng heard this, everyone was furious. But Levi Garrison at the end was thoughtful. Leave me aside, or I will kill you all. Jefferson said angrily. Really? You want to kill us all? Xiao Fengji's popularity came out. Jefferson's face changed drastically. They are all supreme. Chapter 1637. This is what Jefferson hadn't thought of anyway. 5 supreme-level powerhouses will appear all at once. There are many pseudo-extreme powerhouses behind him. Take it. With an order from Levi Garrison, Xiao Feng's group immediately moved. Although Jefferson was very strong, he was still caught in the face of so many masters. Dare to go to Arudaya to steal something? You are brave. Levi Garrison sneered. Bah, a bunch of slaves. Quickly let me go. Otherwise you will all die. Jefferson scolded. Pop, m.bg. Levi Garrison slapped Jefferson's face fiercely. Boom. Jefferson's skin was ripped apart from this slap, almost dying. Jefferson was dumbfounded. He had just detected it with an instrument, and Levi Garrison was undoubtedly an ordinary person. Why does he have such terrifying power? What should Master do? Xiao Feng asked for instructions. Catch it back, lock it up and talk about it. Stealing things from the museum is a big crime. Levi Garrison approached. Jefferson immediately panicked when he heard it. You can't catch me. I'm not stealing things. Besides, this was originally mine, and soon Arudaya will also be ours. Jefferson shouted. Snapped. Levi Garrison slapped his face again. Jefferson still yelled, Do you know who I am? Let me go immediately. I am from the Warhawk Nation. You will all die if you offend me. Do you have any evidence that I stole something? Jefferson laughed wildly. Are you mentally disabled? Surveillance everywhere. Levi Garrison patted him on the face. You. Jefferson stared at Levi Garrison angrily. Boom. Seeing this kid staring at him, Levi Garrison slammed his face with a fist, splashing blood. Try staring at me again. Boom. Still staring at me. Boom. After Levi Garrison's punches in a row, Jefferson was completely unrecognizable. People are also honest. He looked at Levi Garrison in horror. I was horrified. According to rumors, Arudaya is a group of waste. Arudaya is a coward and coward. If you are bullied, you can only swallow your breath, don't you dare to put a fart? How did he meet all horizontal? Even an ordinary person is so horizontal? Punched and kicked him a supreme powerhouse. This is also terrible. Okay, you can get me up. But you have to release me soon. Jefferson smiled. He knew that Arudaya did not dare to cause trouble. Once his people knew, they would definitely put pressure on Arudaya through the War Eagle Nation. In order to calm things down, Arudaya would definitely let him go. It's always the case. Arudaya doesn't want to cause trouble every time, so he will make big things small and small ones. So Jefferson was not worried at all. There was even a smile on the corner of his mouth. Looking at Levi Garrison rather arrogantly. So much nonsense. Boom. Snapped. Cracking. Levi Garrison punched and kicked Jefferson. I surrender, I surrender. I served, I served. Jefferson's face was not made mechanically, it was real flesh and blood. Under Levi Garrison's heavy blow, he was bloody. He can't stand it either. Bring back. Finally, Xiao Feng and the others took Jefferson to Levi Garrison's residence. Use a big iron cage to lock him up. You shut me up like a dog. You. Just as Jefferson was about to say something cruel, he immediately closed his mouth when he saw Levi Garrison's eyes. Without my order, no one can let him go. Levi Garrison gave the order. Chapter 1638. War Eagle Country. Everyone soon learned that Jefferson was arrested. The man in the windbreaker smashed the table. I said, "Don't be foolish. Is this all right?" Almost lost his life. "Master, things have happened, we have to save Mr. Jefferson," several servants said. "Hurry up and notify War Eagle Nation, let them bring people back with Arudaya." Windbreaker manly. "Understand, do it now." The master found out that Mr. Jefferson is currently imprisoned in Jiangbei by Arudaya's Levi Garrison. Soon, they found the location of Jefferson. The man in the windbreaker stood up immediately. "What? Levi Garrison? He is an ordinary person now, and he doesn't have any position. Why does he imprison my brother?" Immediately, the man in the windbreaker smiled. "It's easier to do this. If Messiah was detained, it might be a little troublesome. But if an ordinary person imprisoned and injured my brother in private, not only do people have to pick them up, we can also take a bite back and ask them to compensate and apologize. Yes. Let's do it quickly." Jefferson, who was locked in the iron cage, kept staring at the villa. He vowed to go out once. Levi Garrison must be revenged fiercely. His family is going to be finished. Especially women. At this time, Levi Garrison was feeding the dog in the next cage. This made Jefferson even more angry. Is he better than a dog? He wanted to yell at him, but he didn't dare. He could only clenched his fists and looked at Levi Garrison. Da-da-da. A rush of footsteps sounded. Several people from Xiaofeng came. Their faces are a bit ugly. "Master, Xiaofeng hesitated. "Say." Levi Garrison continued to feed the dog without raising his head. "We must let him go." Xiaofeng glanced at Jefferson in the iron cage. Jefferson smiled immediately when he heard that he was about to let go. "Ha ha ha, I said earlier, you have to let me out. When I go out, you will feel better." Jefferson immediately became arrogant. "To shut up." Levi Garrison's icy voice sounded. Jefferson shut his mouth obediently. "It's better to bear it, it's not worth the beating." "I didn't say let him go again," Levi Garrison said coldly. Xiaofeng looked embarrassed, "But Messiah gave the order, so we can let him go. Say that you are just an ordinary person now, and you don't have the right and qualification to imprison him. By doing so, you even violated the regulations. Now the Eagle Nation is very angry, and even wants to use this matter to force Arudaya Messiah ordered us to release the people quickly." Hearing what Xiaofeng said, Jefferson looked smug. Arudaya is really a bunch of waste. Obviously he stole something and was arrested. Also obediently send him away. It's so cool. "Master, if you have any opinion, I will let him go." Seeing Levi Garrison's silence, Xiaofeng couldn't help but say. At the same time waved. The men were about to open the iron cage and release Jefferson. "Wait! Who dare I see?" Levi Garrison's roar scared everyone. Everyone looked at him dumbfounded. "Master, I also act according to the procedure, you really have no right and reason to imprison him," Xiaofeng said. Levi Garrison stood up suddenly and said angrily, "You ask me what qualifications and rights do you have? I tell you, I am an ordinary citizen of Arudaya. Anything that threatens Arudaya is related to me. This is right, and this is qualification." Chapter 1639. Levi Garrison shouted at Xiao Feng and others, "You ask me the reason. He stole things in Arudia's museum and violated Arudia rules. That's the reason. The evidence is conclusive. He must be shut down." Hearing Levi Garrison's roar, Xiao Feng and others were all frightened. No one dares to move any more. "Hurry up!" Levi Garrison shouted impatiently. Seeing Xiao Feng and a few people about to leave, Jefferson immediately became anxious. "Hey, you can't go, let me out quickly, I'm still inside." Boom boom boom. Jefferson smashed the iron cage vigorously. The huge movement caused Xiao Feng and his party to stop. Levi Garrison, who was feeding the dog, suddenly got up and opened the iron cage. Boom! Jefferson knocked to the ground with a punch. Boom boom boom. Levi Garrison pushed him to the ground and beat him hard. With blood spattering, Jefferson screamed frantically. Not to mention that he dared not fight back. Now his strength is sealed, and he can't use it at all. Can only be beaten. Try another sentence. Levi Garrison beat Jefferson to death. I beg for mercy. I beg for mercy." Jefferson lay on the ground begging for mercy, with blood gurgling from his mouth. Jefferson could not imagine how fierce an ordinary person was. "Let me hear your voice again, I will remove your iron shell for you." Levi Garrison glared at Jefferson. Jefferson trembled with fright. The machinery on his body is fused with flesh and blood. If the machinery is removed, can he live? "What are you looking at? Aren't you leaving?" Levi Garrison glared at Xiao Feng. Xiao Feng and the others ran away in fright. Jefferson's tears came out. Never thought that one day, it would be so miserable. Still being abused by an ordinary person. He couldn't even imagine, why an ordinary person is so arrogant that even a group of supreme powerhouses listen to him. He can only pray in his heart, "Hurry up and save him." What? Levi Garrison won't let anyone go. After Messiah learned the information, he was also very surprised. Yes, logically speaking, this person can't be let go. But there is no loss in the first place. In the second, the War Eagle Nation requested that we have to let go in order to calm things down. What does Levi Garrison mean? Go, let's go, and release the people ourselves. Messiah's Wang Qian and Yifan hurried to Jiangbei. The two saw Jefferson being locked up in a cage and were frightened. If this matter spreads out, it will be very troublesome. Levi Garrison, what are you doing? Quickly let the people go. Do you know who he is? An important figure in the War Eagle Nation. He must be released. This is Messiah's order. Wang Qian shouted loudly. I can finally go out. I can finally get revenge. Jefferson immediately became excited when he saw the person who could take the lead. Sitting there, Levi Garrison said faintly, "Where is the key to the iron cage?" Levi Garrison pointed to the key not far away. Call. Jefferson was relieved. Sure enough, this kid still obeyed orders. Wang Qian and any fan also smiled. It seems that Levi Garrison is not as tough as Xiao Feng and the others said. Even Xiao Feng and others behind were surprised. Master just let people go like this? Either fan rushed to get the key, but when they first touched the key, a thunder-like voice sounded. Who would dare to move? Okay. Everyone was stunned. The key is there, but who would dare to move it? Chapter 1640. Levi Garrison suddenly raised his tone, making everyone present abruptly. Especially for Wang Qian and any fan, the calves were shaking. Either fan even retracted the hand that had touched the key. Obviously the key is right in front of them, but Wang Qian and any fan can only watch them, but they don't even dare to stretch out their hands. This is Levi Garrison's aura. He didn't dare to move with a word. Even in everyone's cognition, he is an ordinary person. Yet, what do you mean by Levi Garrison? Do you want to intervene in Messiah's affairs? Wang Jian asked tremblingly. Is this just Messiah's business? This is Arudaya's business, and this is a matter for every Arudaya. Citizen! You hurry up, it's impossible to let him go with me here. You don't speak for Arudaya, I will speak for Arudaya. Arudaya is not afraid of anyone. If a foreigner commits a crime in Arudaya, I have to bear the consequences. Levi Garrison expressed his attitude. Levi Garrison, you are crazy. Today I really don't believe in this evil, so I just want to open the iron cage and let him go. What can I do with you? Wang Jian resolutely picked up the key and walked to the iron cage. You can try. Levi Garrison smiled. Wang Jian opened the iron cage. Jefferson was released. Mr. Jefferson, you are free and safe now. Wang Jian smiled. Jefferson was almost crying with excitement. Free at last. But at this moment, he saw Levi Garrison walking toward this side quickly. Hey! Jefferson's heart sank and his face changed drastically. You, what are you going to do? Wang Jian felt the murderous Levi Garrison approaching, and asked subconsciously. Boom! Levi Garrison ignored him and kicked Jefferson directly. Boom! Kick him directly 7 or 8 meters away. Levi Garrison deceived him, and pressed Jefferson with another blast. Jefferson screamed. Both Yifan and Wang Jian were frightened. Do you dare to leave without my consent? Do you think I dare not remove your iron shell? Levi Garrison's eyes opened wide, staring at Jefferson. Believe. I believe it. Jefferson nodded quickly. Go back by yourself. Levi Garrison cursed. Jefferson returned to the iron cage in a desperate manner and closed the door himself. This. Wang Jian and Yifan were completely stunned. Why was Jefferson so scared by Levi Garrison? He is an ordinary person. Jefferson is a supreme powerhouse. Of course, Levi Garrison was really ruthless. I can see that they are stunned. Levi Garrison, you are presumptuous. How dare you hit Mr. Jefferson? You are deliberately trying to make things worse. Yes, now Messiah has ordered him to be released. You can't control it. Yes, Levi Garrison is here as an ordinary person, how can he interfere with Messiah's affairs? Don't be foolish. People must be taken away today. Wang Jian and any fan also expressed their attitude. Levi Garrison returned to his seat and sat down and waved his hand. Whatever, the people are there, you can take them away. Wang Jian and Yifan came back to the cage and opened it. Mr. Jefferson is gone, we will escort you away. The two smiled. No, no. It's just that Jefferson shook his head madly, and his body drew back vigorously. Don't dare to come out at all. At the same time, he looked at Levi Garrison in horror. This. Yifan and Wang Jian were completely dumbfounded. Come on, Mr. Jefferson, come out, what do I think he will do to you? The two do not believe in evil. Chapter 1641. Either sale greeted. Wang Jian also shouted, Xiao Feng, all of you come over and escort Mr. Jefferson away. If Levi Garrison dares to do something, you will stop him. It's just that Xiao Feng and others stood outside, motionless, as if they couldn't hear it. Xiao Feng, what are you doing? I hear no one. Wang Jian shouted. It's just that Xiao Feng and the others didn't react at all. Xiao Feng, you. Wang Jian wanted to scold him very much. But considering Xiao Feng's strength, he still held back. This is Master's sight. We listen to Master. If you want to bring someone, take it yourself. Xiao Feng said coldly. You guys. Wang Jian and Yifan were about to explode. Levi Garrison smiled, I have given you the key, and people have given you the key. Don't blame me. If you can't take it away. Puff. Either fan really wants to vomit blood. What's this? Mr. Jefferson, please trust us, we will definitely take you out safely and send you back to Warhawk Nation. With us, what if Levi Garrison dare not take you? The two decided to fight it out. It is bound to take Jefferson out of here. It's just that Jefferson looked up and saw Levi Garrison's smiling face. It's like seeing the devil smile, all trembling, with unwillingness written all over his face. He had no doubt that as long as he stepped out of the iron cage, Levi Garrison would take down all the machinery on his body. I won't go out. It's nice here, I won't go out. Jefferson also pushed out Yifan and Wang Qian himself, and locked the door himself. And threw the key far away. This. Neither Fan nor Wang Qian knew what to say. How could this happen? Jefferson would be frightened by Levi Garrison. Either Fan can only fail and return. Tell Messiah everything. In fact, Levi Garrison's approach is not wrong. Show me the tough side of Arudaya. Yes, I committed a crime in Arudaya, so you can leave so easily. I can't swallow this breath. Most of Messiah agreed with Levi Garrison's approach. Wang Qian and Yifan immediately said, what you said is really wrong. But now that you can calm things down, if you can calm them down. That's right, now the supreme level powerhouse has joined the world. Dangers exist everywhere. And you can't afford it if you don't have friction. Everyone also thinks what these two people said makes sense. Report, Wiggins, the ambassador sent by the Eagle Nation, is here, and they asked to bring someone directly. They are aggressive. They even want to grab someone. At this moment, a report came from outside. Either Fan or the two of you should go. It is estimated that Levi Garrison will be able to let go after seeing the ambassador of the War Eagle Nation. After all, he is such a smart person who can see the situation clearly. Yes, it is not suitable for Arudaya to have conflicts now. Our strength is not enough, we still need time to accumulate. A few hours later, Levi Garrison saw the group of people returning. He was taken aback. It's fast enough. But seeing a few foreign faces next to him, he understood. Come to bring someone? Levi Garrison asked. Yes, we are here to bring people. Wiggins answered. Where is the key? Take someone away by yourself. Levi Garrison pointed to the location of the key. This made Wiggins a few people stunned. Levi Garrison was so easy to talk. It's not like what they said just now. Wiggins took the key and opened the iron cage. Go, Jefferson. Chapter 1642. Wiggins smiled. This is too easy. How could it be so difficult? As Messiah said, they did it deliberately. Okay. It's just that they froze, because Jefferson huddled up in the corner, and there was no movement at all. Jefferson, let's pick you up. Wiggins urged. It's just that Jefferson's tears flowed, and he looked at Levi Garrison in horror. Levi Garrison didn't speak. He dared to leave there? Even if the envoys of the War Eagle Nation had arrived now, he did not dare. Hey? What do you mean? Why don't you go? Come, follow us. Wiggins stepped forward to drag Jefferson away. Jefferson shouted in horror, No, I can't leave. If he disagrees, I dare not leave. Jefferson didn't dare to bet. If you really let Levi Garrison dismantle his equipment, he has a dead end. What happened? Only then did Wiggins realize the problem. Jefferson had to agree with Levi Garrison before he dared to leave. What's the matter with you? Don't let me take people away. Wiggins directly questioned Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison sipped his tea and said with a smile, I asked you to take people away, and I will give you the keys. He didn't leave by himself. Then why don't you leave? Everyone looked at Jefferson. Jefferson looked horrified and was about to cry, "I dare not. I dare not leave if he doesn't say it himself." Seeing that Jefferson was afraid to be like this, everyone was angry and helpless. Too much ashamed of the War Eagle Nation. Wiggins looked directly at Levi Garrison, "Hurry up and tell him personally, you agree that he is leaving." Any Fan and Wang Qian also urged. Levi Garrison hastened to tell him. "Now that the envoys of the War Eagle Nation are here, this is the end of the matter. If it goes on, things will become bigger. Yes, you used to be a great minister of the Great Xia, you know the truth. Hurry up." Levi Garrison suddenly became angry. "What? Who is it that did the wrong thing? It was he who came to Arudaya to steal and was caught by us. If you want evidence and have evidence, you want reason and reason. Should he not be punished?" This. Yifan and Wang Qian were speechless. Wiggins furiously said, "That's your business, I only know to bring people back. Let me release them immediately. Then I won't let anyone go. Without my agreement, he dare to take a step and try." Levi Garrison said furiously. Jefferson shivered with fear when he said this. "Levi Garrison, you are too presumptuous. Do you know who we are? We are the messengers, specially sent by the War Eagle Nation. Quickly let me go. Otherwise, you won't be able to eat." Envoys such as Wiggins took a tough attitude. "Be sure to ask Levi Garrison to release people. I care who you are. He has committed an offense and must be punished. Otherwise, Lao Tzu, the King of Heaven, will not be easy to come here. Go away, everyone get out of me. They are horizontal, Levi Garrison is even more horizontal than them." Wiggins also fought against each other, pulling Jefferson angrily. "Let's go, who dares to stop? Who dares to stop, is against me, the Eagle Nation. Let me see him take a try." Levi Garrison stared at Jefferson. Puff. I saw Jefferson kneeling on the ground, pleading, "You go. Leave me alone. If you want to save me, he has to agree with him personally. This is the only way." Wiggins gave Jefferson a helpless look and left angrily. Before leaving, he said to Levi Garrison, "You have caused trouble, and you will become the enemy of the Eagle Nation." Chapter 1643. Levi Garrison, you have caused a big deal. Either Fan and the two left angrily. Levi Garrison doesn't care, I only admit the truth. He smiled at Jefferson in the cage again. "Don't worry, you will be locked in for some time in the future. You will not leave." "Yes, yes, yes." Jefferson nodded hurriedly. He is a dignified supreme-level powerhouse, and he still has to suffer here. He only hoped that after Wiggins returned, he could bring reinforcements. Either let Levi Garrison succumb and let himself go. Either send a master to take yourself away forcibly. Even the envoys of the War Eagle country did not take people away, which shocked Messiah. M.BG. No way, if Levi Garrison is like this, something big will happen. Yes, the envoy of the War Eagle Nation was obviously angry and said that Levi Garrison was in trouble. Both Yifan and Wang Qian bury their grievances. "I think Levi Garrison did the right thing," someone said suddenly. "Hey? How to say?" Everyone looked at him one after another. "I think the more this kind of moment, the harder it should be. If we give in blindly, afraid of causing trouble, the other party will get worse." This time it was swaggering to steal something from the museum. Maybe the woman who moved Arudaya behind even blatantly killed and destroyed it. The more they hold Arudaya's mentality that they don't dare to cause trouble, the more we must be tough, and the more we must show them a tough attitude. Hearing this, everyone was silent. Yes, it's wrong. The more we bear, the more vain we appear, and instead give each other a chance to take advantage of it. We Erudaya doesn't take the initiative to cause trouble, but we are not afraid of it. If we cause trouble, we will hit you. The notice goes on and the announcement is made. Jefferson will be punished if he violates the Erudaya rules. After sending out the message to punish Jefferson, Levi Garrison smiled with satisfaction. This is the Messiah he is familiar with, and this is the Erudaya he is familiar with. Hard. Everyone came to provoke. Afraid of him being in all. Just hit it. In the end, Jefferson was imprisoned for 10 years. Also abolished one's strength. In order to behave like this, warn those who have bad thoughts about Erudaya to think twice before acting. After hearing this message, the War Eagle Nation completely exploded. No one thought that Messiah would stand on Levi Garrison's side in the end. Will be so tough. Now there is no use for pressure or anything. In the manner. After hearing the message, the man in the windbreaker. Completely angry. Presumptuous. What a big summer, you treat my brother like this. You are forcing me. The master is our fault. The two butlers knelt and trembled on the ground. The eyes of the man in the windbreaker gradually turned black. Why don't you take good care of my brother? The man in the windbreaker put his hands on their heads. With black air in his hands, he began to suck the heads of two people, and he could clearly see the airflow being sucked out. The two screamed like a pig. Soon their bodies began to shrink and grow old. Puff! Puff! The last two skeletons wrapped in clothes fell to the ground. The flesh has been sucked dry. The rest of those present knelt on the ground and shivered. Too frightening. Brother, don't worry, the Alliance army will soon break through Erudaya, and I will rescue you. At that time, Erudaya is ours, do whatever you want. The man in the windbreaker looked into the distance. There is also Levi Garrison. I remember this name. His end will be very miserable. Chapter 1644. By the way, the next step is to contact the supreme powers of Erudaya. There are also supreme powers in the surrounding East Island, Star Country, and other regions. At that time, I will disintegrate Erudaya inside and outside, so that Erudaya has no place to be safe. The man in the trench coat showed a crazy smile. When the time comes, the supreme powerhouses in Erudaya will attack, and the surrounding areas will also be their people. Thinking about it, I feel terrible. Hurry up! Hurry up! Don't let Erudaya react. The man in the windbreaker then accelerated the formation of the Alliance army. Attempt to capture Erudaya as soon as possible. Rescue his brother as soon as possible. Today, I am going to meet an important person to help me prepare a cruise ship. Half a day later, the man in the windbreaker took a cruise ship to the Endless Sea. This is an area known as the Devil's Sea. The weather is unpredictable, and storms and thunderstorms occur all the time. All ships and planes that approach here often disappear. Therefore, this place was listed as a forbidden place by navigators, and they would not dare to come if they were killed. The captain and his crew were shivering when they didn't know the situation. Master, let's leave, this place is too dangerous. The man in the windbreaker looked calm, he smiled and said, do you think I don't know this is the Devil's Sea? But do you know? There is a Sea King palace hidden in the Devil's Sea. Hiss! Everyone gasped. There are still people living in the Devil's Sea area. You might not expect this group of people to live here all year round. It can be said that they are invincible in the sea. The most terrifying thing about the Sea King Palace is that they have the supreme level 6th heavenly powerhouse. There may be more than one. There are 7 or 8 supreme level 5th heavenly powerhouses. The others are unimaginable. Under this harsh environment, more and more can be honed to the strong. Everyone's side. So I say they are invincible in the sea. The man in the trench coat smiled. So master, are you here to invite Sea King Palace to join the Alliance army? Well, it's wrong. The man in the trench coat nodded. Rumble. At this moment, suddenly there was a thunderstorm in the sky. The stormy sea raged and ravaged the cruise ship. Everyone panicked. They show up. The man in the windbreaker smiled. His voice just fell off. Rumble. There was a wave of shaking mountains. I saw an ancient palace slowly emerging from the bottom of the sea, slowly emerging from the sea. This. God. My God. Everyone was terrified. Can't imagine what kind of building this is. It was pulled out of the sea. Finally, the man in the windbreaker met with Hai Wangdian, and after several hours of discussion, they reached a consensus goal. At the same time, the Golden Temple and the Holy Sword Temple in Western Continent also agreed to join the alliance. The Apocalypse of Northern Continent and the Sky Shield Bureau also joined the alliance. Yan Luodian in Nanfang Continent, etc. also participated in the alliance. The people they contacted before were all alone or 4 or 5 supreme-level powerhouses. Now begin to contact the major forces. For example, the Sea King Palace and the like, they are more powerful. All of a sudden, several powerhouses of the supreme grade 6th heaven appeared. This is a godlike existence. Even among the supreme-level powerhouses, it can be called the existence of gods. And it is still increasing, which is the most terrifying. It is impossible to imagine what kind of chemical reaction will occur when so many powerful people gather together, and how powerful it will be. The atmosphere of the war is getting stronger and stronger. Especially the tranquility before the storm is the most suffocating. Chapter 1645. Although Arudaya's strength is being further strengthened, supreme-level powerhouses are also increasing. In terms of the growth rate of the Alliance Army, it is a drop in the bucket. The focus of the Alliance Army now is not on the number of supreme powerhouses. It's how many powerhouses of the supreme grade 6th heaven. So far, Arudaya has never seen a supreme-level 6th heavenly powerhouse. Not to mention that Messiah had it in his hands. The only old city lord of Wushuan City who has ever appeared was a mummy. Levi Garrison was also idle. Through what Jefferson said and the analysis of the current situation, he realized that a crisis was coming. Don't look at him for a long time to Messiah's cold heart. But it's about Arudaya, it's about the land under your feet, and your relatives and friends may be threatened. He cannot ignore it. Who dares to commit Arudaya, then fight back? He is a veteran, and if there is a battle, he will be recalled. So Levi Garrison is also preparing. He secretly trained a team called Guardian Dragon. It means to protect Arudaya and protect the people. In addition, Levi Garrison also performed many exercises and combat skills suitable for Arudaya fighters. There are those who are quick to improve their strength in a short period of time, and there are those who slowly cultivate and strengthen. It also provides some prescriptions to enhance strength and physique. In short, he did everything he could. People like Xiao Feng are not enough. However, he would often call Xiao Feng and others. Among them, there are more and more supreme-level powerhouses. Xiao Feng improved the fastest. If there is enough time, he can refine the magic medicine himself. After all, the old man taught him ancient medical skills, the long-lost method of acupuncture and moxibustion, and the method of refining magical medicine. In a blink of an eye, it was another time. This time, Wushuanchanj agreed to return to Jiangbei for 2 days. Levi Garrison went to Wushuan City early in the morning. Lavilia grows very fast, both in terms of sensibility and strength. For a total of 2 months, Wushuan City's skills have been learned 7 or 88. Zoe and Mia were already powerful masters. This was in Levi Garrison's expectation. Originally, the talents of the two were good, and he laid a good foundation for them. So it is very fast. Before Lavilia leaves, we are going to take him to a place, and you will follow. Fu Kaiyufeng's attitude was cold. It is good. Levi Garrison followed the crowd to the vicinity of the Old City Lord's cemetery. The purpose of Lavilia here is to make you thank Old City Lord. If it weren't for Old City Lord, you don't know where it is now. Fu Kaiyufeng said. Master, understand. Lavilia obediently knelt down. Zoe nodded, it's wrong, you should thank the Old City Lord. It was he who saved Lavilia. Speaking of Zoe, she also fell to her knees. Levi Garrison caught her in time. Why do you kneel? What's so good about a corpse? Levi Garrison sneered. Levi Garrison, what are you talking nonsense? Old City Lord is dead, he is not a corpse. Yes, if the Old City is mainly corpses, who saved Lavilia? Everyone immediately refuted Levi Garrison. Lavilia, of course I saved it, and it has something to do with your Old City Lord. You can't let a dry corpse break through the ground, right? Levi Garrison smiled disdainfully. Levi Garrison, you are too presumptuous. The Lord of the Old City saved your daughter, and you were so rude. You should also kneel down and kowtow to the Old City Lord and thank you. Kneel down to me. Chapter 1646. Several people urged Fu Kaiyufeng. Even Zoe and Mia felt that everyone was right. Just as the king of Shu Tian saved the emperor before, this time the Old City Lord saved the emperor. Levi Garrison, the father, should kneel down and thank you. In Levi, you just kneel down and kowtow to thank you. They are the elders, and they saved Lavilia. Again. What's more, you all knelt down to thank the King Shu at the beginning. What is this? Upon hearing this, Levi Garrison was stunned. When did I knelt down to thank that kid? His apprentice, dare to make him kneel down? A lot of people have seen it, you kneel down for him, you don't want to be brave. Zoe looked helpless. M.BG. I think Levi Garrison is too strong. Obviously see the facts. Little did he know that when he was too far away, it was the king of Shu who knelt down for Levi Garrison. Okay, I don't need him to kneel. Annoying. Fu Kaiyufeng looked impatient. After letting the monarch thank you, let them leave. However, Fu Kaiyufeng sent a large number of masters to protect Lavilia, and he almost came with him. Cracking. After returning to Jiangbei, Li Zhao's family and the western Shu gates prepared a grand welcoming ceremony. Firecrackers sounded, gongs and drums roared. Lavilia, Zoe, and Mia are everyone's hope. It's not just because of identity. Even if the strength of the three people is now placed in the West Shu Gate clan, they are all very important. We are not disappointed. Zoe and Nanyang are both great masters now. You two are really the proud girls of heaven, you are not bad in every aspect. What do you want? Today's banquet is for you. Several companies jointly hosted a grand dinner. Levi Garrison is here, you sit at another table. Is this a place where you can sit? Levi Garrison was going to sit at a table with Zoe and the others, but was rushed to another table. Think he is qualified? 2. In everyone's eyes, Levi Garrison is just an ordinary person with a past. It doesn't match the rosy plum dye at all. Neither one is good enough. Especially when Zoe became a master-level powerhouse, he was even more unqualified. The three of Lavilia were arranged on the most important table. Li Wenyuan and Zhao Yalan also fully accepted Zoe as their current martial artist. After all, times are changing. Many hidden warriors have already lived with ordinary people. Hey, I said my daughter is capable. I got married early. Zhao Yalan sighed. Other people are also in the mood of eating flies. Now that the identity gap between Levi Garrison and Zoe is getting bigger and bigger, Lavilia will stand at the top in the future. Everyone can't understand it. You have no idea. Levi Garrison also contributed. After all, there is no such genius as Lavilia. The Emperor Xi Shu said with a smile. Haha, that's true. His greatest value is to give birth to a monarch. Tang Baidao also smiled. Ha 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 ha. Everyone laughed. When Li Songkui and Zhang Wentao heard them, they leaned forward and laughed directly. A man's greatest contribution is to have children. Ha ha ha. Levi Garrison, you have lost our man's face completely. You really are not a man. You have become a tool for childbirth. Everyone looked at Levi Garrison with strange eyes. When the Western Shu Emperor and Tang Baidao said so, everyone in the audience ridiculed Levi Garrison. Suddenly Levi Garrison stood up and hooked his fingers at the two of them. Come out. Chapter 1647. Levi Garrison said this. The audience quieted down instantly. The Western Shu Emperor and Tang Baidao were stunned, and couldn't help but smile. Are you talking about us? Just you two, get out. Levi Garrison got up and left. The Emperor Zishu and Tang Baidao looked at each other and smiled, and got up and followed. Don't follow anyone. The two said. They are very excited. He had been oppressed by Levi Garrison before, and he dared not speak. But now Levi Garrison has become an ordinary person. They want to return everything before. Came to a remote place. What's wrong with Levi Garrison? Very upset? Want to hit us? The two laughed. A weird smile appeared at the corner of Levi Garrison's mouth. Who gave you the courage to talk to me like this? Who gave us the courage? Levi Garrison, do you think it is your own era? You can see clearly, now. You are an ordinary person. Still thinking of letting us be a cow and a horse for you? Funny. The two naturally disdain Levi Garrison. Levi Garrison stared at the two and asked, You said I was a tool for giving birth. Yet, don't you think this is of great value? We hope you can give birth to a few more children. Each of them resembling Lavilia. At that time, everyone will confess you and look forward to your childbirth every day. Ha ha ha. The Western Shu Emperor and Tang Baidao laughed. The existence that once stood on their heads is now so humiliated by them. It's so cool. What are you laughing at? Is it that funny? Levi Garrison asked. Funny, of course, bang. As soon as the Emperor of Zishu was halfway through his words, he slammed his mouth with a heavy fist. Puff. The Emperor of Western Shu splashed with blood in his mouth, and all his teeth flew away. Papa. Levi Garrison slapped the mouth of the Western Shu Emperor several times in a row. His mouth was soaked. Levi Garrison, what are you doing? Tang Baidao roared. And you? As soon as the voice fell, Levi Garrison appeared in front of Tang Baidao instantly. Boom! With a kick, he kicked Tang Baidao away. Puff! This kick almost killed Tang Baidao's life. But the two were dumbfounded. Is this an ordinary person? Levi Garrison is not an ordinary person at all. It's just that others think so. He never said he was. That's how you talk to me? Levi Garrison asked. No, we dare not, we were wrong, we were wrong. The two squatted their heads on the ground, and the floor was knocked to pieces. Take care of your own mouth, if you don't want it, you can tell me, I'll break it. Levi Garrison then left the dinner. The banquet scene. Hey? Levi and the three of them have been out for a while? Isn't something going to happen? Haha, maybe they are teaching Levi Garrison, right? Everyone laughed. The old lady and Wu Mulan sneered and said, Levi Garrison doesn't know how to promote it, so it's good for people to educate them. Yes, is it wrong to say that he is a childbearing tool? He is worth this point. Zhao Yalan also followed. With the rise of Zoe's status, their views on Levi Garrison became more and more. Mia saw that Zoe was worried, and couldn't help but comforted, "Sister-in-law, don't worry, they dare not take brother anymore." At this moment, the Emperor's issue and Tang Bei Road walked in. "From now on, everyone can't insult Levi Garrison," the two warned. The old lady said in horror, "Big brother, what's wrong with your mouth?" Chapter 1648. Hiss. Everyone noticed that the Emperor Xi's mouth was bloody and pale, and his face was pale. Even Tang Baidao looked like he was injured. The two of them were obviously injured. What exactly happened here? What about Levi Garrison? Why is he missing? Could it be that Levi Garrison fought these two? If it's true, isn't Levi Garrison? A terrible thought lingered in my mind, and everyone was shocked in a cold sweat. The mouth is beaten, everyone will shut up in the future, and the mouth will be beaten. The Western Shu Emperor said coldly. Ming, understood. Everyone nodded nervously. No one dared to ask what happened. A banquet ended like this. What are you talking about? Everyone is very puzzled. Li Menjiao glared at a few people contemptuously and said, "This is still not clear, Wushuan City must have warned and shot." Yes, Lavilia's status in Wushuan City is too high now. Levi Garrison is his father, and Wushuan City will naturally protect him. Understood. No wonder the Western Shu Emperor both were beaten and warned us all specially. Even Zoe and Mia think so. Wushuan City values Lavilia too much. Before, Levi Garrison had spoken harshly in front of Fu Kaiyufeng, and he had to bear it. Wushuan City tolerates him. How to make Lavilia's father be insulted by others? After Zoe returned home, he said, "Look, Wushuan City has helped you again, so you should thank them." Okay. Levi Garrison was taken aback first. Then I understood what was going on. They misunderstood again. Whatever they think. By the way, Xiao Qin will be back in 2 days. If I'm in Wushuan City then, if you bring her here, I haven't seen her for a long time. Zoe reminded. Speaking of Xiao Qin, Levi Garrison was in a trance. It's true that I haven't seen this girl for a long time. Because Wushuan Jinj gave 2 days of rest. So Levi Garrison took Lavilia to play everywhere, living the life of ordinary people. Zoe didn't see his classmates and friends for a long time. Specially connect everyone together and have a party. After receiving the notice, Levi Garrison hugged Lavilia to attend the class reunion. Many students have not seen it for a long time. When we get together again, we all feel kind. Da-da-da. Suddenly there was a sound of footsteps. I saw a tall figure appeared. He is in a suit and leather shoes, with a grandeur. Everyone didn't recognize it for a moment. Are you Su Zhenjia? Zoe asked tremblingly. What? Is it him? As soon as he heard it was Su Zhenjia, there was an uproar in the audience. Even Levi Garrison felt shocked. Su Zhenjia is their high school and college classmate, and has always been a nerd image. In addition to good academic performance, there are no other advantages. But he was a science madman in high school and university. Passionate about it. I even squatted in words, especially when I saw Zoe, I couldn't say a word for a long time. But he likes Zoe, everyone knows. Previously, his image was rough, sloppy, with a big greasy head, wearing black-rimmed glasses, and ugly, with very poor background conditions. And he was a single-parent family. No girls will like it. But after seeing it today, I changed my head completely. Both the appearance and the temperament are completely changed. If I didn't say anything, I thought it was the little star internet celebrity. Su Zhenjia, you have changed too much, right? Everyone looked incredible. Su Zhenjia smiled, everyone has changed even more. I just changed my appearance. Chapter 1649. Okay? Levi Garrison was taken aback. This is completely different from the previous one who was only a promise. Through the chat, I learned that Su Zhenjia was not satisfied with his appearance and went to the star country where the plastic surgery industry is developed. I think everything can be changed. There is nothing to hide about my plastic surgery. Su Zhenjia expressed his views. Zhenjia, what are you doing now? Someone asked. After graduating from university, I entered a science and technology institution, and then I went it alone. Now I run a science and technology enterprise, mainly researching and producing ultra-new weapons, and have cooperation with many large foreign consortia. When Su Zhenjia finished speaking, everyone was amazed. In terms of achievements, Su Zhenjia is second only to Zoe, right? Our classmates, you and Zoe are the most prosperous. Do you know the martial artist? Zoe is now a supreme powerhouse, the kind of destroying the world. But Su Zhenjia smiled contemptuously, this kind of warrior is exaggerated, and modern. Technology is not incapable of defeating them. How is it possible? The supreme martial artist can compete with small nuclear weapons. Then everyone fell into arguing. Levi Garrison frowned. He felt that Su Zhenjia was bragging. Even what he said is true. He is too confident. Judging from his demeanor, he knows the supreme-level powerhouse very well. An ordinary person actually ignores the supreme-level powerhouse. This is too scary. But Levi Garrison didn't care how much. After the banquet, Levi Garrison hugged Lavilia to drive. When they came out, Zoe and Su Zhenjia were arguing. Plum died angrily and got into the car. Through the car mirror, Levi Garrison saw Su Zhenjia's gloomy eyes. It turned out that Su Zhenjia actually confessed to Zoe. Frankly does not care about her past, willing to accept Lavilia. Said that Levi Garrison was no longer worthy of her. Crazy. Su Zhenjia was such an honest child when he was in school, how has he become like this? Now I look a bit like a demon. Zoe was still angry. Levi Garrison nodded, I think so too, maybe his career has grown bigger and his personality has changed too. Well, let's not mention him. I don't want to see him in the future. In the meeting room of the 100-story building in the headquarters of Sangxing Group, the capital of Star City. They received a mysterious guest today. Not much nonsense, I just want to invite Sangxing Group to join the Alliance Army. This is the list of people and organizations that have already joined. The mysterious guest handed everyone a mysterious list. What? They all participated too. When they saw the list, everyone was shocked. The sound of cold air was endless. We Sangxing Group join. Almost without hesitation, Sangxing Group considered joining. In fact, Sangxing Group is not a consortium on the surface. In fact, it is a super powerful force. The horror and mystery have always been hidden. It wasn't until the Covenant of the Gods was torn apart that they gradually became visible. But I have only one request from Sangxing Group. What? That person is puzzled. When the time comes, leave Levi Garrison to me. Requirements of Sangxing Group. After listening to that person, he was amused. What exactly did Levi Garrison do? So many people have to target him. Everyone's requirements are surprisingly consistent, as long as Levi Garrison. Everyone in Sangxing Group was taken aback, and couldn't help saying, what? Is there anyone else who wants Levi Garrison? It's too much. According to incomplete statistics, there are no less than 30 forces in the Alliance Army who want Levi Garrison to die, and there are at least hundreds of people who want Levi Garrison to die. Chapter 1650. Yes, you must know that everyone is a supreme level powerhouse. I don't know how Levi Garrison offended you. The man was surprised. The expressions of everyone in the Sangzing group changed. Because Levi Garrison drove us out of Arudaya and disrupted our layout. He even beheaded the future heir of Sangzing group. How can I bear this? That should be killed. At that time, Levi Garrison's family will give you all. You can torture as you want. The man smiled. I heard that Sangzing Group has advanced technology and biological gene technology, and you have created a lot of existences comparable to the supreme level powerhouses in private. We need you to give clear numbers. We need to work out a detailed combat plan. The senior officials of Sangzing Group looked at each other, and finally told the general data. His, M.BG. After the man finished reading, he gasped. This is terrifying. The combat effectiveness of the Sangzing Group is 5 times stronger than we thought. The man looked surprised. It is estimated that this is not even the supreme level powerhouses you recently recruited. It is estimated that all of them are 7 or 8 times stronger than we expected. The man smiled. Several people in the Sangzing group did not refute it. Because after the Covenant of the Gods was torn up, they recruited many supreme powerhouses in the name of Sangzing group. Many companies cooperate with Sangzing group. As long as it is dealing with Arudaya, we are willing to contribute all our efforts. Originally, we wanted to keep this secret desperately. Since the Alliance Army is going to deal with Arudaya, it doesn't matter if we say it. The Sangzing group suddenly wanted to tell a secret. This made the person stunned. What's the secret? Now everyone knows that the supreme level powerhouse represents the strongest force. Even artillery bombing is not useful. But do you know? But there is a weapon specifically aimed at the supreme powerhouse. What? After listening, the man's face changed drastically. An unbelievable look. There is this weapon. Wrong, we witnessed it with our own eyes. A supreme level powerhouse was beaten and disappeared by this weapon. Even the corpse can't be left. Even the soul consciousness is defeated. The chief engineer who designed this weapon said that this weapon is based on a 1-point explosion, and no supreme powerhouse can stop it. Unless the realm is very high. Once it is put into use, it will be a devastating blow to the supreme power. After listening, the person felt more shocked. Once it is used in the battle against Arudaya, can all Arudaya supreme powers be bombarded to death? The man asked quickly. Wrong. This is the result of our loss of supreme level powerhouses. If used in large quantities, Arudaya's supreme level powerhouses will be useless. Let's kill one by one. Several people from Sangzing group laughed. That's great. Where is this weapon? Did you make it? We will get it at all costs. The Alliance Army liaison began to get excited. It's not us, it's made by a company in Arudaya. But we supported Su Genja, who runs this company. However, we have provided them with a lot of technology and money. It is not impossible to get this weapon, and even mass production. Okay, then this matter will be left to you. You must take it. If you have any needs, just say it. Okay, then we are happy to cooperate. A conspiracy was achieved. Arudaya faces greater danger.